Welcome in San Diego. Gwynn and Chris here on this Tuesday afternoon. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby, Chris Ello, Idle. Today.
Thank you, Tony.
Indeed, 201 on the dial. Lot going on in sports today. We'll get to that here in a second. Mr. Skraby, how's your day today?
It's a little weird. We got some weird lighting going on in the room right now.
I don't mind it.
It's mood lighting, I guess.
That's what you keep calling it. I just think we just don't have bright ass lights today, and we are going to, use these. What do you call these little circular lights? They're
called circle lights.
They use them a lot on Instagram. I seen them.
Oh yeah. These are like standard lights that people use these days.
Right. So we're just going with that here today.
My question: what were Frank and Braden doing in here before? Were they like setting the mood for something?
I don't
it's
know.
Weird.
I was getting ready for our show, so I didn't have time to really check in to see what Braid and
Frank
were doing.
I tried to go turn on the lights until he said no.
Yeah,
no,
this is good.
Leave them the way they are.
This is good. I mean, if Chris was here, we'd have to have him up. His eyesight is not as quite as strong.
It's one of the only times I've ever wanted Chris to be here.
Speaking of Ello, he will join us hopefully in the 5 o'clock hour.
He said everything's going according to plan.
He says that often. He says that often.
Yeah.
And then later we find out it hasn't gone so well. Remember to listen around 5:35 for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padre game with all of the fan staff. Catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. Some signings today, Scrape. First of all, the Pirates said they were in it. I think we found out why they were comfortable being in it, because they knew they had no shot to sign him. Kyle Schwarber back to the Phillies, $150 million.
We knew that was going to happen eventually, but I do think it's funny now that the Pirates could be like, well, we did try, but he just wanted to go back to Philly.
I give them no points on this because
I
think everybody knew that Kyle was likely going back to Philly.
Bryce Harper basically said he better come back.
He better come back to Philly, right? And so when you see the Pittsburgh Pirate report out there that they're making good offers, of course they know he's not going to take it, and they know that money is going to be right back into their their bank account when it's all said and done.
That is true, and I never actually saw a real figure. All I saw was reporting of north of $100 million, which could mean they offered him $105 million, and that was their foray into Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber, not the only piece to come off the board today. This piece, I thought of you, Skraby, because I knew you would feel some type of way. But Edwin Diaz is a Doyer.
The bad part is I love the trumpet intro that he has.
It is it's one of the best.
I love it.
Come out songs in all of baseball.
I don't know that I'm gonna love it when he runs out of the bullpen at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, you're not gonna love it. Tony, because it's gonna be even bigger than it was in New York.
His deal, 3 years, $69 million, making him the
highest AAV
amongst relievers ever.
This is the second time I believe he set that market. I think he set it in his last deal as well.
I think you're right.
It's an interesting move. Obviously, the Dodgers needed to address their bullpen after they had last year, in which they signed the flavor of the year reliever, which was Tanner Scott. That didn't work out, and so now you go back shopping for the flavor of the year. I guess Edwin Diaz is that. I mean, to me, it just continues to make me think that everybody is like overlooking Robert Suarez. I mean, I think
he's been more
consistent than Edwin Diaz. He's been healthier than Edwin Diaz.
For sure.
So that's an interesting one. We'll see how that one goes. But those are the two big pieces that came off the board today.
I'm gonna present an idea on the Skraby show tonight for how they can fix baseball, because I'm not even going to complain about this, Tony. I'm not going to get
Good,
mad.
because I
I'm
get
not
tired
gonna,
of you complaining.
I'm
about
not going to say that this
personally.
is cheating. I'm not going to say that this is unfair. What I will say is one team should not be able to sign the best of the best in back-to-back postseasons after winning 2 World Series. That just doesn't happen in any other sport.
The best of the best?
They're saying he is. Jeff Passan said the best closer on the market.
On the market?
Yeah, on the
this
market.
Year.
So you're paying this guy to be the best of the best of the best.
So you wanted to complain, is what you wanted to do.
What I want to complain about.
You already are complaining.
Is that baseball. Now I've shifted my focus, Tony, to baseball. They are the ones to blame for this. The people that have set this all up, because they went Wild West on this whole thing, and now it's starting to show.
Wild West on what whole thing?
Just there's no rules kind of thing. There are many rules. I get
lots of rules. Great.
But like with the team spending so much money, there are no rules except for the luxury tax, but that's not even a tax anymore for the Dodgers. That's called opportunity cost to win a World Series. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Cost,
it is. They're like, yeah, we'll pay that $150 million tax bill if we win another World Series because we're going to pull in another billion with another World Series. And it's great business. Bad for baseball.
Bad for baseball. I don't know if I agree with you, man. I don't know if people are not going to come to games anymore because the Dodgers are winning.
Here's Tyler. Back-to-back off seasons with $65 million contracts doled out for a relief pitcher. But yeah, money isn't the problem. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, well, both you and Tyler crying like a baby right now.
You gotta think. There's some part of you that thinks this is ridiculous.
Nope.
There is some part of you that's got to think they should not be able to sign these guys year after year.
No, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that everybody else should be able to sign these guys in the same way year after year. That's what I think.
Before the show, we talked about it. And I will say that the bottom feeders, as Dave Roberts called them last week, they are more of a problem than the top spending teams.
For sure, because if everybody had the top spending assets, they would do it. Not everybody would just sit at the bottom and just collect change.
That's
money.
Exactly what they're doing.
Right.
They're just saving up their money for whatever. But it's and here's another thing. Last year taught me one thing. And I knew this going into it, but it was hard to understand it. You still have to play the games. And the Padres had a 1-game lead in the division late in the season. They had a chance to win that division. So it doesn't mean that the Dodgers are going to run away with it. It just means that they got more weapons to use that no one else can use.
Are you done?
Yeah. Thank you.
Jeez Louise.
SD Mike. Oh, well, Tyler says they are incentivized to spend, which is a problem. The lower, the bottom feeders are not incentivized to spend. If you were to put a floor, you would spread some of these contracts out a little bit. And some of these players would be going to other teams.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, nobody really knows how any of it goes, whether there's a floor, whether there's a cap. There's always some thing that needs to be fixed. One way or the other. And, I just, right now, it's not even viable that there's going to be a cap. Maybe it's more viable that there's a floor.
Do something.
But I don't know that there's, unless y'all want to miss games. That's really the only way. Is a cap is within range. I see no other way other than miss baseball.
Okay, so as a player, would you vote for a floor or a cap? If you had a vote as a player,
the players are going to vote for a floor.
Okay, that's fine with me. You're doing something.
But the owners aren't going to vote for a floor.
I don't care about them.
Well, you'd have to. They kind of have a vote in this. It is their team, ultimately.
Today is just one of those days for me.
Yeah, you going through it today?
I mean, we had to redo videos. I mean, it's just been a lot.
That was kind of annoying, I must say. We'll get into some more of this. Get into some of the Padre payroll. Last season, 223. Right now, 161 million. So, I mean, if indeed what has been said, that the Padres will at least try to maintain that level, that means there's about $62 million to spend. Maybe.
I think AJ Preller could do that. That's actually a lot for him. It seems like 62 million.
Maybe we'll get to this on the other side. Have a little more in-depth discussion here on Gwynn and Chris.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods.
This hour 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Mission Fed. From first accounts to big life moments, Mission Fed can help. Saving shouldn't be stressful. Mission Fed makes it easier with great rates on savings, certificates, and ultra money market accounts. Grow your money the smart way. Check the latest rates and open an account at missionfed.com. Membership and account criteria apply. One more thing. At some point during the show, you will have a chance to win a pair of tickets to see San Diego State basketball against Lamar tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. Grab tickets at goaztecs.com. Gwynn and Chris, I'm Skraby. That's Tony Gwynn Jr. Crisello idle till about 5 p.m. We were just talking about payrolls. We were talking about the Dodgers signing another player for a lot of money, which I haven't seen if any's deferred yet. So I would assume that's what I look for now in a Dodger deal is deferral. Like how much is going to be pushed off until 2035. And I didn't see anything this time. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it's not the first deal. I mean, Blake Snell, right? He didn't have it. Somebody didn't get deferrals in a lot of those deals last year towards the end. I think everybody, as I said, is not going to be willing to put their money on hold. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just semantics at this point.
Semantics at this point.
It is. I mean, does it affect? It's not affecting the now, right? I mean, he signed to the Dodgers. I don't really care how he gets his money at this point. And
I get that. You're right. It just gives them another superstar to be on their team.
Superstar.
Like, I don't even think, honestly.
Everybody's not a superstar.
Edwin Diaz is not a superstar?
No, he's not a superstar.
Is he a
Shohei
star?
Ohtani is a superstar.
Okay. Is Edwin Diaz a star?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Okay. I mean, I don't even
reluctantly.
I don't.
But
I don't even think MLB The Show would allow you to put this team together. It would be like this is not possible.
Let's stop. This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Did you take care of the business you need to take care of?
did.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Padres roster. Currently, right now, as is, the current number is 161 million. When the season ended last year, it ended at 223. Now, Skraby and I went back to kind of see where the Padres have been. 21, 2025. That was good enough for fourth in Major League Baseball. 22, this is, the Padres' best season in this era. NLCS, fifth biggest payroll, 234.7. So this is the time where they were going for it. 23.
And then they really went for it.
They jumped. 282.8. This was the year that was probably the most disappointing of the bunch, right? I think that was the team with Soto in his first full season after coming over in the year before on the deal. They'd missed the playoffs. 24, they slide down to the 15th, right in the middle of the pack in terms of payroll, 184.7. And that was the year you probably felt the best about the team.
Which is weird, right?
Going in, right? That was the year that they had the Dodgers in a chokehold.
2-1 or 2-0?
2-1. And the Dodgers were able to hold the Padres off. They win that. They win the first of 2 World Series that year. But the Padres dropped in payroll. Now, they went into the season right around the same number this year of 187 or 184, maybe a little bit higher because some of the guys who were already signed, Toddy, they started to come into some of their bigger numbers, contract-wise. I just named Toddy because he was the first one that came.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But they ended the season at about 223, which raised them to 9th highest. But I think they also, AJ made those deals understanding that Cease was coming off the books, and although they would like to get something with King, he would also be coming off the books. Luis Rise coming off the books. Ryan O'Hearn coming off the books. Suarez coming off the books. So
was Eric Hosmer still on the books last year? I can't remember when that expired.
I can't either. I don't even want to try to guess on that one.
I deleted that from my head.
But nonetheless, so right now, as we've discussed, 161. So assuming it stays where it was at the beginning of last year, you got at least 20-something million to work with. If it's going to get to where it ended, which I doubt, it's probably going to be somewhere in between there.
Yes.
Because Well, we have seen on years where the Padres have the year they scaled back, the team was assembled, and then moves were made after the season got going to kind of tell what was actually needed. We saw it in 24. It was early. It was Luis early, and then was some late moves there with Scott and those guys to kind of solidify the bullpen. And then last year was very similar, right? You get Pavetta, probably the one and only deal you got done. You get the arrival of Gavin Sheets, but it stayed pretty low until they identify what they need. Deadline comes, they are able to add, understanding money's going to come off the book. So this is part of what I think makes AJ a really good GM. He's able to maneuver that. Now, it hasn't produced a championship yet, but given the circumstances, it does a pretty good job maneuvering these particular set of kind of guidelines.
Like I think you said it yesterday. If he's the only guy I think could accomplish what he needs to accomplish.
Now, granted, it might just because he's the only one that we've ever had and paid attention to.
But I don't see other baseball.
I don't either.
GMs doing this.
I don't either.
I mean, the only other one is Matt Arnold.
Matt Arnold with the Brewers.
The Brewers had a pretty low payroll last year, but then they got smoked in the NLCS.
And they both have great infrastructures in terms of being able to identify talent, get the talent, allow them to grow, and then able to kind of maneuver and move pieces as they see fit. Now let's get into some of the stuff this
one more thing.
Go ahead.
Adam just texted me about the Hosmer. He last year was the final year of his contract, so
he knew that was coming off the books as well.
I think it was like 13 or 15 million.
So all of that is gonna you has to all factor into how things are gonna work now, and all that was done without there necessarily being the cloud of a sale hanging over.
Yes.
And so that also, I think, kind of changes how things may or may not go.
I agree, but we've heard multiple times now from a letter to or an email to season ticket holders. AC wrote an article yesterday about it. John Seidler says they are going to spend what they comparable to last year. So
that's anywhere between 160 where we're at now and 228 where it ended last year. 223.
I'll be greedy, and
I'm sure you will. It's not your money.
You got to spend at least 210.
Oh, you got to spend at least.
You got to spend at least 210.
All right. So from where we are now, that gives you about 50 million to play with.
And I think that they could find some great guys with that money to just fit the pieces that they need. They don't really need anything infield wise, except for a first baseman. They need a first baseman.
They don't really need anything except a first baseman.
That's it. They don't need anything outfield.
I mean, first basemen that are going to bring the production you look for ain't going to be cheap.
I mean, Ryan O'Hearn would be 12 to 15
unless the Pirates are really in, because I saw their name connected specifically with Ryan O'Hearn.
Mr. O'Hearn, you would have much more fun.
Listen, let me tell you, I think Ryan would think you're absolutely right. But the opportunity,
I get it,
to be an everyday guy, not that he probably would have a good chance to do it here at first base.
I think so.
But I mean, can you match the coin that the Pirates can pay him?
That is a ridiculous statement, even though I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, dude. If they're
going to give him $10 million more over the contract.
I was being facetious earlier when I was like, this is probably why the Pirates offered. I mean, partly true to that, but they are the type of team that would take a splash shot at a guy like Ryan O'Hearn to get him in the building, knowing that they're not going to get a guy like Kyle Schwarber to actually come to Pittsburgh.
I get it. I've always thought.
I think the Pirates are the team that would overpay.
Yes,
Ryan O'Hearn to come, and with the Padres can't. I don't know if they can afford to do that.
No, I wouldn't say overpay, because if you're under these budgetary restrictions, you can't overpay. You have to make sure all the contracts are right. And then you got to also remember that Nick Pivetta is going from $1 million a year to $19 million a year. So a lot of the stuff
that's why you see his name
in trade rumors
popping up.
Yeah. And he's coming off his best season of his career. So if there's a time to sell, it's right now. I think Ryan O'Hearn
Heard.
O'Hearn
Okay, there you go.
should come back just so Chris has to talk about him all the time.
I think this Pete Alonso thing is quite eye-opening to me.
That no one.
I mean,
This is his second
really,
year.
guys go to these meetings, especially a guy like him, when maybe you need to kind of meet some folks in person because it may not be going as like it should be in terms of the market value.
What do you think? Why would you think teams are hesitant
I
to
don't
give
know.
him big money?
I honestly don't know. I think it's kind of unfair, honestly.
Is
when
it
you look
because
at-
he can't feel? He's not a good fielder.
I don't know that he's
Infielder?
not a good. I don't know. I know it's not pretty.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think he makes all the plays for the most part. It looks crazy.
he looks the part at least.
He's consistently been the part in terms of a slugger. I don't see why teams are hesitant with him. If you need a bopper, the one thing he's done consistently since the moment he arrived is hit the ball over the fence.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yes,
So
each and every year.
I don't understand the kind of hesitation that it seems like teams are having, or at least that it seems like we're reading that teams are having.
He's a Boris guy, isn't he?
He is.
Or I'm sorry, Boros guy on this show. He's a Boros guy.
According to
Crisello.
According to Mr.
Maybe
Ella.
I honestly think that there are certain players that should go be represented by someone else, because Pete Alonso is just one of many big priced free agents that Scott Boros has.
Yeah, but he always gets him paid.
He does, except
So
for
why-
Pete Alonso last year. He got a 1-year deal.
He did. Sometimes it bees like that, unfortunately.
They need to at least spend on one legit.
But yeah,
starting
I think
pitcher.
I think we're gonna have to kind of sit back and see where the pods are at ultimately, in terms of what this winter meetings looks like. It's a lot of chatter. Sounds like Padres. We got some more little what is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Nuggets.
Nuggets to get to you about what likes of Dennis Lynn are hearing out there, likes of
Scott Boros.
Scott Boros. Oh, Scott Boros hit you with another one of his poems.
We're gonna get
Or
to
did
that
he?
later.
We're gonna get to that later. What we got coming up next, Greg?
We have our guy Matt Snyder from CBS Sports. He is coming on to talk about the winter meetings. Also, he wrote a book recently, and it goes back and studies the history of the leadoff hitter. So I wanted to ask him a few questions about that as well.
All right, Matt Snyder. When we return, we're going to Chris.
Ben and Wood.
4 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Sello, not here. He's idle. He'll be back Thursday after the Aztecs get a victory and head their way back this way.
Yeah, they're out in K-State.
Little Kansas State action.
They're going to be playing at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
I believe he told us that Gilbert Arenas' daughter is on that team for Kansas State. So
he did.
Aztecs looking to move their record to, I believe, 5-3 on the season, as are the men, who will take on Lamar tomorrow. And they'll look to go 5-3 on the year. Couple things. Sam Levitt will join us in a little bit. He's got a one-on-one with my guy AJ Preller. See what they have cooked up on their side. And we'll also hear from Dennis Lynn at some point during the show. He also was cornered by the great Sam Lev as he continues to do some great work there out in the winter meetings right now.
Of course, Sammy's always looking for something to do, and he's always looking to push someone in a corner and ask him questions about baseball, which is what he does.
Yes.
He's very good at it, actually.
You think?
I'm not good at that. They're like, where are you leading me? Why are you going to this corner? Sam's just like, come on over.
Where are you leading me? Why are you going to this corner? That doesn't sound all that great.
No, you're actually right about that.
Daily Gambit to join. We will have Matt Snyder here shortly to talk about what he's hearing down in the winter meetings. Plus, he got a new book kind of highlighting the leadoff man and perhaps the disappearance of the leadoff man. You don't see the old school leadoff man in the way that I think many of us think of it.
Did you ever hit leadoff?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. How was it? Majority of your career?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, most of the time, early in my career, certainly. Most of the time it was either at the top of the lineup or it was at the bottom lineup.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask him about that. Did Tony make your book?
I'm pretty sure I did. I don't think you need to really ask him.
Okay, I'm gonna call him
on that. From that standpoint, a lot of interesting news. I saw the Tigers president said that no one is off limits, including Tariq Skubal. So I mean, remember, I think he's going into the last year before he becomes a free agent, and so he very well could be on the move during the season. It's typically when we see guys like that get moved. So. It'll be interesting to see who those guys are this year. Already Tariq Skubal at the top of that list in terms of teams a player that teams want to trade for. All right, let's go to our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Matt Snyder, CBS Sports, joins us. Matt, how are you, my friend?
I am great. How are you guys?
We are well, just kind of waiting for the
hammer to drop.
The hammer to drop. Exactly. I mean, we saw a couple moves today. Love to get your take on Edwin Diaz going to the Dodgers. They go with the flavor reliever of the year once again, and then I think to no one's surprise, although the Pirates tried to convince us that they were real players in this. Kyle Schwarber goes back to the Phillies. What are your thoughts on those two signings?
On Schwarber, I felt like the Reds and Pirates and Orioles were definitely talking to him, but given how public the Phillies had been about, we're not going to let this guy go, we want him to stay. Total opposite of how the Mets have been with Pete Alonso the last two off seasons, basically. Like, it just seemed like at this point he's kind of a Philly guy. We're used to seeing him with the Phillies. It just seemed like he was never really going to leave there. So that one, it made sense to me that was the first domino to fall. Really annoying that we had just these two signings within like 5 minutes of each other and nothing else has happened, by the way.
Right.
But Diaz to the Dodgers, it's I think a lot of people forget, I'm sure you guys have not, how much of an absolute mess their bullpen was down the stretch in the regular season, to the point that it felt like they're going to lose in the playoffs because of their bullpen. Now they had it fallen nicely into place with Roki Sasaki there, and they were able to get so many innings out of their starting pitchers that they covered up for it. But the Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott signings just did not work for them at all. Maybe those guys will bounce back, but Diaz is the other guy. It looks like a pretty scary team right now, frankly.
Not much has changed. I mean, the team
No,
continues
exactly.
to look pretty scary. Matt Snyder joins us here, CBS Sports. Matt, you mentioned Pete Alonso. Help me figure this out, man. I'm having a hard time with it. Why does it seem like teams are reluctant on a guy
I don't
like
know.
Pete Alonso?
Yeah.
He's been as consistent doing what he does as anybody in the league, yet it seems like in the second year of free agency, teams are hesitant for whatever reason.
It's funny, like a lot of times when I think about my Hall of Fame vote, I think about guys who are like in the wrong era for whatever. And if you go back, like Bobby Grich was completely underappreciated in his time. He's one of those guys that would be a darling now with the high on base percentage and the good defensive metrics and the high WAR. It's the opposite for Alonso. He's in the wrong era. If Pete Alonso was putting up these numbers in the 80s, he would have been the most coveted free agent, probably second after Schwarber this year. But the WAR doesn't love him because he plays first base not very well at all. He doesn't really run the bases well, but man, he slugs. He slugs. And when he hits for average, like he did last year, like he did in 2022, he's so valuable in the middle of an order. I can't believe the Mets haven't prioritized him.
Right.
When you already have Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto at the top of the order, put the Thunder behind them like that. And that is, I mean, if you bat him third behind those two guys, that's as good of a top three as anybody in baseball has. So I don't understand it. I think the Reds should pivot. And I said on Twitter earlier today, the Reds should put the full court press on Pete Alonso. They didn't even have anybody hit 20 home runs last year. They need power. And in that ballpark, he might well hit 50.
Oh, my Lord.
That's what we were saying about Kyle Schwarber. If he went to the Reds, that would be crazy for him. We're talking to Matt Snyder, CBS Sports here on Gwynn and Chris 97.3 The Fan. And I hate to be this guy, but I also don't want to be the guy that people point to and said, you never talked about it. But Fernando Tatis Jr.'s name is all over the trade rumor world. My personal opinion is even with a sale, he's an asset. So why would they trade him? But the rumors continue to persist. What are your thoughts on this?
I guess it would be just trying to get out of some of that salary. And but like, look, you got a bounce back year from him last year. It's still not MVP caliber like it looked like it might be in 2020 and 2021 for him. But he's a very, very good player. And for me, I think it's one of those guys that when you say untradeable, it's not as much of an insult. It's just when people used to ask me, like, what if the Angels traded Mike Trout? And I was like, it's never going to happen. This was back in his prime. I was like, it's never going to happen because by the time the Angels would say yes, the other team would stop offering that kind of a package.
Right.
And I think with all that money backloaded from ages 31 through 35, the types of offers the Padres were going to get back, it's just not going to be worthwhile for the Padres, in my opinion. So I just don't think it's anything that's ever going to happen.
Matt Snyder joins us here, CBS Sports. And Matt, obviously the conversation around the possible sale of the Padres has seemingly or could possibly complicate how they move in free agency. I mean, this team has dropped down to 15, I believe, in payroll at the start of the season. They got it back up as they made their push. I mean, even if the payroll stays where it's at, there isn't a lot of wiggle room. They're in really the type of free agencies that can have an impact, right?
I wouldn't think so. But you know what? You've got the right guy at the controls because
no doubt. No doubt.
I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I think any of us who played fantasy football before, you always have like one of those owners and one or two owners in your league who will never, ever, ever trade their guys. They hold on to them for dear life.
There's 12 of us in our league.
Preller is 100% the opposite of that. Anybody's on the table at any time, and I absolutely love it. He'll figure something out. I love that you're hearing whispers like he's going to pull off some kind of heist. It's going to be a bigger move than when they traded Juan Soto to the Yankees. Like I'm interested in. Obviously, that's where Tatis's name gets brought up. I don't know if it's Tatis, but I'm intrigued because I'm always excited when guys are not bashful and will pull the trigger, and that's always the case with Preller.
Matt, let's move across the league a little bit. You're seeing a lot of movement in the American League East. Seems like the Blue Jays are out making moves. You got some of the other teams, the Red Sox in that division. The Yankees are staying quiet. Do
Yeah.
you think that is the way they're going? I mean, there's still plenty out on the board right now. Not a whole lot has come off, but they seem to be playing a little bit slower game than everybody else in their division.
I mean, surely they want to. I mean, you only have so much prime of Aaron Judge left, and you're
Right.
talking about an all-time great player in his prime, and you haven't won a championship with him yet. Now is the time to be as aggressive as ever. But we already heard Hal Steinbrenner talking about how they don't even make that much money.
Right.
So I don't know if it's ownership coming down on Brian, which, by the way, that's a complete joke,
Yeah.
but whatever. Kyle Tucker's out there. It'd be a real nice fit in Yankee Stadium if they want to go with Cody Bellinger again, like last year when they whiffed on Tucker. Bring Cody Bellinger back. They need to keep pushing the chips to the center here with Aaron Judge. And they had a team good enough last year to get to the World Series. They just didn't get it done against the Blue Jays. But look, the American League still, to me, looks pretty wide open. I mean, the Mariners, they are probably losing Eugenio Suarez in free agency. They just got a season from Cal Raleigh they're never, ever, ever going to get again, even though he's really good.
Right.
The Astros don't look that great. Nobody in the Central looks that great. The Blue Jays, we'll see what they do. I think they're probably in on Tucker very heavy. But even if the Blue Jays look like the best team in the American League, they don't look like a Dodgers level powerhouse, or even when the Phillies are right, a Phillies level powerhouse. So now should be the time. They should not be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, no one can ever be a Dodger level powerhouse at this point in time. And
I know.
I know it's crazy, right, Matt? We're talking about Snyder,
it
CBS Sports, and we're gonna ask you about your book here in just a second. My last question is about Robert Suarez. He isn't seemingly getting any looks, or we haven't seen any rumors of him being linked to any teams. And you had Edwin Diaz making a ton of money. What do you think is going to end up happening with Robert Suarez?
Well, maybe now that Diaz signed, and after Devin Williams to the Yankees, Diaz, maybe now the market for Suarez will start to emerge. And I know that he was fickle, but almost every reliever is fickle. I mean, look, Edwin Diaz is by no means a sure thing. He's had plenty of meltdowns. Devin Williams had a ton of high-profile meltdowns last year, and he got paid. So you wouldn't think that it would take that much longer for this market to materialize now that Diaz and Williams are off the board. But yeah, it's weird. Haven't heard much at all with him connected to similar to Framber Valdez. Like how have we not heard anything about Valdez connected to almost anyone? It's weird. It's sometimes these things take time in the MLB offseason. I wish they wouldn't. I would like I wish our winter meetings were kind of like in NFL free agents or NBA free agency where it's just a mad scramble for a few days and that's it. I wish that's how it was, but it's not. So it might drag on with Suarez.
Speaking of Framber Valdez, last one on the baseball tip before we get to the leadoff man. You don't think the whole incident at the end with him crossing up his catcher is a big deal, do you? I mean, I saw he's meeting with teams to kind of show who he really is. Did you think that has that much of an impact?
It might. It depends on the front office because there's some front offices who worry about, the personality and how they blend with the team, but there's some that just don't, and they view the players as like robots, basically. His ERA was over 5 in the second half, so it was a disaster of a contract year for him, being so bad in the second half and having the issue with crossing up his catcher. So maybe those are two things hanging over his head. But you would like to think that there would be multiple teams out there who would look at his career resume and say that was probably just a blip on the radar, and he's a workhorse frontline starter.
We're talking about Snyder, CBS Sports. Before we get to your book, Matt, all guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Now, I'm really jealous because I've always thought about I should write a book. And I sit down and I write like 10 pages and that's it. So I'm very jealous that you were able to finish an entire book, but you wrote The Leadoff Man, the history of, the evolution of, and fun with the greatest catalyst in sports. So tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah. So it same thing for me. It had been like 15 years of saying I want to write a book someday. And like last off season, my wife was like, I think it's time to quit talking about it and actually do something. Like, you know what? You're right. I mean, I'm starting to push 50 here, so I can't wait forever. And the playoff field last year, I was Luis Ariz for the Padres. high average, no walks, no power. Kyle Schwarber, low average, tons of power, strikes out a lot. And everybody in between, I was like, this playoff field, the 2024 playoff field full of leadoff men, really illustrated the way that the thought process has evolved about leadoff men over the years, going back to the late 1800s. So I examined that. I did a history of. I ranked the top 20, but I also did honorable mention by era, and there's like 86 or 87 guys that I talk about. I went through a lot of the most fun moments. Like personally for me, most fun moment, I call it the greatest leadoff man moment ever, was Dexter Fowler leading off Game 7 of the 2016 World Series with a home run. And I interviewed Dexter about that. Interviewed Johnny Damon, Joe Mauer, John Smoltz, Mookie Betts, Kyle Schwarber. Had a lot of fun with it. And speaking of fun, I also there's a chapter where I discuss if the evolution had happened sooner in baseball history, some guys who could have been a leadoff man. For example, Ted Williams could have been a leadoff man. I mean, he's rocking a 482 career on base percentage. And of particular interest for this show in the San Diego area, in that chapter, I talked about a man by the name of Tony Gwynn, who did not hardly lead off at all. Only 113 times he led off in his career. And I just zeroed in on 1987, his best season. Like, he hit 370 with a 447 on base, stole 56 bases. Why wasn't he leading off? Are you kidding me?
Great question. Great question. I remember one year they put him in the leadoff spot, but I think eventually because at the time, as you're kind of alluding to, Matt, the thought process was different. He was almost too good to put in the leadoff spot. You wanted him to come up with somebody on. So then you slide him down to the 3 spot, which he hit most of his career. But I can't wait to read this book. I have to get on Amazon and buy purchase.
Yeah, tell everybody how to purchase it, Matt.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.com. You can type in The Leadoff Man and it pops up. But also on my social media accounts, I have a pinned tweet. I have it pinned on Blue Sky. So any of those ways, you can find a direct link to Amazon to buy it. Yeah, it's funny. To your point, Tony, that's something I harp on a little bit, is this notion in like the 50s and 60s and 70s where you had to save your best hitters, or even going back to Ty Cobb hit cleanup more than any other spot in the lineup. I mean, why are we betting 3 guys before Ty Cobb?
Right.
So like the 27 Yankees had 2 almost automatic outs in front of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. They're like, well, what are we doing here? Why are we wasting outs? But, they still won the World Series and did just fine for themselves. But anyway,
weren't they called Murderers Row? Is that the team right there? Okay, so 2 automatic outs at the top of Murderers Row.
I mean, they had like 2 guys with on base percentages in the 200s, and then like 2 of the greatest seasons in the history of baseball, batting 3rd and 4th. They're like, we can move those guys up,
That's really funny. We're gonna actually go on our Twitter at Gwynn and Chris, and we're gonna retweet your tweet, Matt. So you can go to at Gwynn and Chris. You could also go to at Matt Snyder CBS, and you can find the link for his book.
Guys, I greatly appreciate this. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. We appreciate you contributing to our show for so long, man.
Yes.
We will certainly catch up again.
Congratulations on missing Chris.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Take care, Matt. Thanks, brother.
Yep. Have a good one.
Matt Snyder, CBS Sports. Always fun to catch up. Check out his new book, The Leadoff Man: The History of the Evolution of and the Fun with the Greatest Catalysts in Sports. Catch it out on Amazon.
I could ask a million more questions about it. I could.
I mean, there's been some. I mean, I don't know that we'll ever really look at leadoff men the same way. I mean, Ricky Henderson was like, he's the guy. The guy.
He's the
prototype,
yes.
Right? He had power. He did strike out a lot. He walked a lot. He stole bases. If you can build your leadoff guy, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Because when he wasn't hitting the homer or getting, he was walking. He knew the strike zone. I don't know if I don't know that there's anybody like that. I mean, I guess I don't know. George George can do some of the same things, Springer, but I don't know that he's doing it at that clip.
No. The Giants were just selected as the 4th overall pick in the 2026 Major League Baseball draft. So that's not great. I mean, it's not like going to change the future, but still
matters.
Buster Posey with a 4th overall pick
matters.
Tampa Bay and Chicago White Sox are the 2 teams left to make a pick. And I don't think they're going to go fast enough for us, Tony.
No, they're not. Let's get the break. On the other side, Daily Gambit coming up next. Junior Matt Skraby, Chris LOO Idol. We got Daily Gambit. Oh, more importantly, NBA Cup action tonight. Yes. Little Prime Video special. You have the Heat Magic, a little Florida fighting going on there.
Florida fighting. I've been watching. I watched the first episode of Pluribus on Prime because Apple, for some reason, makes the forget your password thing for Apple TV so difficult that you have to request a password. They'll send you a code in 24 hours. Then you have to click a link in 24 hours to get your code in like 8 more days.
24 hours.
It does.
Doesn't.
It does.
I had forgotten my password too at one point.
I don't even want to go there.
Why are we whispering?
Because I'm trying to stay calm.
Oh.
I'm trying to stay calm. But anyway, been seeing a lot of the commercials for the NBA on Prime, and it's really funny how much they play up this cup thing. The NBA Cup is coming down to the end.
It's coming down to the nitty gritty, man. Know what you're doing. It's they're being serious. It is serious. NBA Cup at stake.
Don't even say that with a straight
Possible
face.
hanging of the banner.
Don't even say that like with a straight face.
Anyway, Heat Magic today, and Knicks Raptors Falls 3 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Couple East Coast early starts. Oh, I guess not too early, right? I mean, 6 o'clock and 8:30.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Kind of late. All right, Daily Gambit. We got some bets to get to, some answers from yesterday's bets coming up now.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We will have the bets from yesterday, and it started with the Eagles and the Chargers. The Eagles were favored in this game by 2.5 points. We have not really talked about it, but Chris went Chargers. Tony and I went Eagles. Chargers won 22-19 in overtime. So they win the bet there.
Yeah, that was Eagles got some things to figure out. I guess A.J. Brown may have been on to something the whole time.
And what's that? Throwing the ball?
No. He's been proven wrong on that already, because it seems like when he has good numbers, they lose.
They do.
What did he do last night?
He had a pretty big night, and they lost.
Another loss.
So does Saquon. They had a couple things working. Although
4
interceptions, 4 picks.
4 interceptions not going to get it
I think
done.
2 of them at least were tips.
I know I saw AJ drop one in the end zone, like a perfect dime.
Yeah.
And he kind of, it was good defense. He didn't really drop it. But yeah, man, the Eagles 8. They were what, 8-1 at one point? They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, and everybody is calling for the head of Nick Sirianni. I would like
again?
to
Are we doing this again?
I would like to remind Eagles fans, you won the Super Bowl last year.
I'll tell you.
And you're still winning.
People are just getting more and more ridiculous.
That's why I will never believe that a championship here in San Diego would get the pressure off for a little bit.
Shot.
It would hit back with the next season.
It'd be ramped up.
Game was over under 41.5 total points. All of us went over. Again, the odds makers just completely amazed me. 22-19 is 41, so it was just under by half of
all of
point.
us went over?
Yeah, all of us went over. Passing plus rushing yards, we all said Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert, he rushed for 66 yards last night because he had to.
He's such a tough guy.
He's the toughest of the tough.
I mean, that's what, Mr. Harbaugh said, that it's
now that Jim Harbaugh
almost had him in tears. He was so tough.
Now that Jim Harbaugh is not my team's coach, I cannot stand some of the things he says.
He's so over the top.
He really is.
It is just the extra sauce on everything.
You're right. I almost had tears when I was watching that performance.
Like if someone jumps over the fence, he's going to tell you that it was the most like miraculous thing he's ever seen in any lifespan he's ever been in. Like, even if he came back as another body beforehand, he would explain it that way.
I could draw parallels to someone. Justin Herbert, 139 yards passing, 66 yards rushing, 205 total yards. Jalen Hurts, 240 yards passing, 8 yards rushing. So he wins. We all win that one. Saquon Barkley over under 70.5 rushing yards. Chris and Tony went over. I went under. He had one long, big run, but he had a pretty good night. 122 rushing yards.
That's his first good night in a little bit of time, too.
Because I hated having Saquon this year, I looked back. Last year, he had like 20-point game every week. That was his second 20-point fantasy game of the season.
You would be going back. How many times did he keep me from getting to 20?
You know what? When I clicked draft Saquon, I was like, hopefully this doesn't burn me. And it did. It burned me.
He wasn't the only one that burned you.
No. The rest
me
of my
and
team
Skraby are both oh no, excuse me. I don't want to exclude you on this. I am the only one of the trio that didn't make the playoffs this year
in our fantasy football league.
I got off to such a great start, and it just quickly changed as each player got hurt.
Yeah.
And more hurt, and another one got hurt. I had like 2 guys on the IR. Well, I can only keep one, and my stupid self just kept hanging on the hope that he was coming back.
Who?
I ended up releasing him at some point, but I hung on to him too long. I can't even remember who it is.
Next year, I don't think I love Garrett Wilson, but I don't think I could draft him. I drafted him.
You know who he's going to be replaced with on my team, though?
Who?
Mr. Williams.
Mike Williams?
No, Caleb Williams.
Oh,
I got
Caleb Williams.
I got my quarterback. Yeah, my keep. I got my quarterback for the next couple of years.
When did you get him?
It was like
late?
14.
I know there was some haters in the fantasy draft.
Yes, there was.
Tony was the only one who went for it. But that's pretty good.
I
Anyway,
digress.
Zach Levine over under 20.5 points in last night's game. You guys said under, I said over. I was wrong. He had 16. Now, we haven't talked about this yet, but we will get into it at some point. But Phillip Rivers, this is a show on December 9th, 2025.
Crazy.
Phillip Rivers has signed a practice squad contract to be with the Colts. So there's a possibility that Phillip Rivers is going to play an NFL game.
I think they have every reason,
over.
but we have every reason to think that he's going to be playing at some point.
There's no reason he comes
There's
in not
no
to play.
reason that he's coming to be on the practice squad.
Unless he goes
solely.
Unless he's on the practice squad, he just gets torched.
Yeah, unless he goes out there and realizes, oh man, this ain't what I thought it was. He's going to play.
It is. Yes, I agree with you. There's a bet out there, though.
I can't wait to watch him slinging that
with his
dragging his arm through the.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Phillip Rivers is now plus 1,200 to win comeback player of the year.
Is there enough games?
There shouldn't be, but in this case, there
probably is.
He
right?
hasn't played since 2020.
3 left.
4
left. Okay.
Yeah. He so Christian McCaffrey leads the way. Dak Prescott is second, but Rivers has better odds than Aiden Hutchinson, Trevor Lawrence, Christian Watson, and Stephon Diggs.
That's crazy.
That is. So we'll keep an eye on that. But bets for tonight: Michigan just blew out everyone in the Players Era Festival. Is playing Villanova at home. Tony, Michigan 17.5-point favorite.
Yeah, they'll cover. Michigan.
I'm going to go with Michigan, too, until they prove to me that they're not going to beat someone by 40. Good game. Florida at UConn, our favorite. Dan Hurley and Mr. Tall Guy on Florida's side, something LaRue. UConn, 3.5-point favorite. I will go with UConn, Tony.
I'm going Florida.
Florida, flaw. Norman Powell of the NBA. He'll be playing in a cup game tonight between the Heat and the Magic. Over under 27.5 points plus rebounds plus assists, Tony.
Over.
He scores a lot of points.
Shooting 50% from the field, too.
Yeah, I'm going to go over because, I'm going to go over. Heat Magic over under 234.5 total score. So this would be... Man, you're asking me to do math now. 100 plus 100 is 2.
150.
120 to 110 would be 230.
That's
Still
not
under.
234.
I am gonna go over.
Oh, over.
Over. All right. Another cup game. Knicks are at the Raptors, and the Raptors or Knicks are 5.5-point favorites. Tony.
Give me the Raptors to cover.
To cover. Okay. I'll go with the Knicks. I don't know why I keep picking the Knicks, but I do. So, all right, that's it for Daily Gambit.
All right, Daily Gambit in the can. Let's get to break.
Ooh, we have a fun segment next.
Do we?
Yeah.
Let me see what we got.
Yeah. Scroll.
Oh, yes.
I knew you were gonna love it.
Scotty B. Scott Boros, as Chris Eller likes to call him. Once again, does his annual meeting with the folks down at the winter meetings. And I just have so many questions about this most recent quote, because at least it's being portrayed that Scott wanted it said the way that it was written. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you have to hold on to the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
With T-Mobile.
Our number 2, 318, Tony Gwynn Jr., Crisello, Idol. Matt Skraby here, though. So it's just the two of us. Crisello actually says he's going to join us at the 5 o'clock hour. But
says.
We've been down this road, so we won't get our hopes up.
Can't wait for the, you'll never believe this. We just stopped at Chipotle.
Couple things. Do I need to read this?
I can read it if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
It's a long one.
Join Tier 1 David J. from Hop Run Tours for an unforgettable trip to the Windy City next summer with Bennett Woods to watch San Diego take on Chicago at one of the most historic stadiums in all of baseball. This package from Hop Run Tours will include round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations for 3 nights at a 4-star hotel, a stadium tour, and tickets to 2 games, plus a group dinner with Bennett Woods. Visit 973thefansd.com/Chicago for all of the details. This special fan trip is brought to you by Hop Run Tours, who handles all the travel and event details. 97.3 The Fan is proud to promote this package.
A couple things. White Sox got the number 1 overall pick. Tampa got the number 2 pick. Second, what's the kid's name? Grissom. He was a big
Vaughn Grissom.
Vaughn Grissom. Remember, he came on the scene a couple years ago. It was a big addition.
Yep.
He's been traded. I got rid of him.
The
They
Red
sent him
Sox.
to. Where'd they send him to?
Angels, I believe.
Angels. Yes, that's right. So Angels making some move. Speaking of Angels,
Angels making some moves.
yes, they are, man. Listen, Kurt Suzuki, new manager. We'll see how it goes.
Kurt Suzuki's first order of business: fix the air conditioning. in the weight
That
room.
might be a problem. Scott Boras, the best agent in all of baseball, top tier agent in all of sports, was at it again today. And, initially we went to break. I was questioning, were we making this a story or was Scott Boras making this a story? You may be asking, Tony, what are you talking about? I don't know if you remember, what was it, a couple weeks ago? He kind of had like a riddle that he put together.
Lots of peas.
Yep. He was popping his peas.
Puma and like all those other stuff.
Right. He's at it again. He was asked, what does, a market like Cody Bellinger look like? Listen closely to what he said.
Belly is, he's, it's not for me to judge, but, great players see red if they lose, that they have a big bat yanked out of their lineup. I haven't met a team that dodges a 5-tool player. To fill the center field need is a giant step towards the playoffs. North and south, outfielders that fly with power, they're rare birds. In the off season, there's a lot of startup to organizations, and for that reason, there's a lot of angel investors that are looking for very versatile outfielders.
Other than that, Belly doesn't have much interest, he says. Now, I challenge you guys to give me those teams. Chat, do your thing. Tell me the teams that he hit and name me all of them. Skraby, I thought that was let the chat do what it does.
Yes. They're already going.
I know they are. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I especially love this line right here. Outfielders that fly with power, they're rare birds.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a bar right there.
Now, since we found out about this, we've been trying to determine whether or not he came up with this beforehand or did this off the cuff.
Check for me that was a freestyle.
He was searching in his head for words.
Check the age on Scotty B.
Oh, Scott Boras. Let me see. Scott Boras age. 73.
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I mean, my man
is he getting bored? Is this what he does now?
He must be. He must be getting bored because there's no reason. I think you just start when you've done it as long as him. You got to make a game out of it somehow.
I guess so.
He could just come out and be like, do what every other agent does and kind of talk out of the side of his mouth or make it like a grandioso plan that they got. My man hit up first. He gave us the T.
Yeah.
On Judge, right?
Yes,
He said, clearly, Judge's not going to be happy if he sees this bat not in his lineup.
Uh-huh.
He gave us that T. Then he proceeded to tell us what the market looked like. The Mets seemed to be in it. The Dodgers seemed to be it because they like 5-2 players. To the Phils,
yes,
they also need to fill a center field need. He told us the giant step towards the playoff. The Giants can take that step with a guy like Cody Bellinger. And then North and South,
Yeah.
North. He just left that as its own sentence, by the way. North and South.
Yeah, it just was there. I was like, is he just saying words at this point?
Cubs.
Yeah.
White Sox.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Outfielders that fly.
And then my favorite line, outfielders that fly with power. They're rare birds. You can go ahead and throw all of them. Cardinals, Orioles, Blue Jays.
Yep.
In that bad boy. There's a lot of angel
investors.
He had to kind of reach on that one. Angel investors.
Well, he was like, you know what? My whole thing about outfielders with wings or whatever it was.
That one was a bit of a stretch.
Now, someone on the chat is saying that it was hard to follow this, and I agree. It is hard to follow it.
Well, when you're 71, putting it together on the fly. 73, putting it together on the fly.
But when it's on paper
choppy.
And you read it, it makes sense. And honestly, I'm kind of just happy that someone's doing something fun for once,
right?
Instead of being like, "Oh, we have
give
no
us
information."
The standard answers.
Yeah.
Like, well, the market is robust at this time, and
robust.
And we just he's looking for the best deal. He usually might get some years.
Yeah,
but Scotty B at it again, giving us. So I mean, it does sound like Bellinger's got a pretty big market if we are to believe the riddle that. He could technically deny it all. Like, I didn't say any of that. I didn't say anything about the Mets or the Dodgers.
He said also, I'm reading this new quote about the Dodgers and whether or not he expects the Dodgers to pursue Cody Bellinger. Quote, in today's world, everyone views the Dodgers as a Goliath. And when Goliath wants something, we'll see. He loved his time as a Dodger. He has a very open mind about free agency.
I don't think he wants to go back. Oh, look at Preston Mattingly, former Padre, getting ready to come on the former Padre front office. That was like AJ's right hand there for a while.
And now he's with Rock
Phillies.
Yeah,
he's under Mr. Dombrowski. Yeah.
That's a good job right there.
Yeah, it is.
What is it? He's a scout?
No, he's runs the whole minor league system there.
Oh, any relation to Don?
Son.
Okay, I didn't know. I was just asking. At least you're not like Chris. Last week he goes, stop asking stupid questions. After I was like, I don't know the answer to this. I'm literally asking.
I can see him saying that. Preston actually was the original ringer for AJ when you go play hoop. Like, he also played at, ironically, Lamar.
Really?
He played hoop for them.
I did not realize that there's so many coinciding storylines today.
Yeah, no doubt. But I had to share that Boris one with you because I was quite tickled. At first, I was irritated because I thought we were just making up a story, and then I actually heard the soundbite, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he definitely did that on purpose."
Because at first, when we saw the text only, it seemed like the writer took liberty,
right,
and connected those dots, but it wasn't that way.
No,
he definitely connected his
Chris
own dots.
Kirshner. He was the one who originally tweeted it, and that's to where I saw it. And yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of big time free agents. I'm pretty sure Bellinger's not the only one that he has to try to get a deal with. I know Skubal, who the Detroit president said is not off limits.
He kind of has to say that though.
Why?
Because they're not going to extend him. He's in his last year of arbitration.
He could lie and say we're going to try to. You say what they always say. We're going to try to extend him for sure. We want Tariq Skubal in a Tiger uniform.
He doesn't want a Tiger uniform. He might want it right now.
When that money starts to talk, He won't want it any longer.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, the great Sam Levitt. We're going to try to keep him from telling us what AJ told us because we're going to play that for you a little bit later. But either way, we'll get to hear from Sam Levitt coming up next.
light that's on in the studio. But we're about to talk to Sam Levitt. He's in Orlando, set up in the lobby right now of the hotel. All guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapiroLaw.com. Also, if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. You know who's probably pretty hungry, Tony?
Who's that, Sam?
Yeah, he was just telling me before we got it. He was like, I am so hungry right now. So
First
maybe
of all,
we should get him right on.
Let me apologize for getting in here late. I got caught up in a Instagram reel. Lou Williams was defending Kobe Bryant, and so
okay.
I got lost. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Maybe we should get to Sam so that we can let him go a little bit earlier. We'll do traffic in the middle. It's not ready yet anyway. But here is our guy, Sammy Lev, with a bar right down his face on YouTube. And hello, Sam. How are you?
Hello, Sam.
I'm good. Everything's good. Live from the hotel here in Orlando, day 2 of the MLB winter meetings. I wouldn't classify it as a super newsy day from a Padres standpoint. From a Major League Baseball standpoint, certainly there's been quite a bit of action with Schwarber going back to the Phils and Edwin Diaz, the stunner, if you will. Not really that stunning considering what they continue to do free agent-wise, going to the Dodgers, but otherwise a pretty good day 2 here in Orlando. And yes, my dinner awaits from some restaurant around here. Yesterday I actually had it delivered to the hotel, so might do that once again.
What are you thinking about eating here today? What did you have yesterday? What do you think about eating today?
Yesterday I had. You ever heard of a Payway?
Yeah, of course.
Iwei. Yeah, but they don't really have those in San Diego. Do they have one in San Diego?
They got one right down the street.
Have you ever heard of Panda Express?
Hey, no, for real. There's a Payway right down the street from here. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's great. The cream cheese wontons are to die for.
Yeah, I had that delivered. Yeah, just to be honest, the options here. Number one, there's nowhere to walk, which is not uncommon for these winter meetings hotels. It's you know what, when they have it in San Diego at one of the hotels by the water there, it's actually great because you just walk right across and you're in Gaslamp and you've got plenty of options. In Nashville, in Dallas, and here, there's just nowhere to walk. And it's either here in the hotel, it's either super high end, like I'm not, and especially here at the winter meetings when all these people are having like their own dinners and meetings. What am I going to go in alone and sit at the bar? Which I would do.
That might be how you get some information.
Yeah, well, okay. That's not a bad point,
I'm just saying, you get a couple drinks in one of these GMs, dog, and get you some.
What I mean is specifically eating, because the being by the bar later on, yes, totally very, very common, good information spot. It's the going into one of these like restaurants at the hotel and sitting, I don't know, it seems kind of
I know what he's talking about, but you're also in a hotel. When I was a traveler, I had to get over the fact that I would have to eat by myself.
Yeah. No, I eat by myself, but nowhere to walk.
Listen, when you do the job that
then they have like these little cafes with the pre-made sandwiches and stuff, which
when you do the job like Sam does, or you spend as much time on the road, you learn to enjoy the eating by yourself deal. It's kind of part of the
I love
kind of part of the gig. So. All right, Sam, let's get into some baseball, man. I know you said it's not much of a newsy day for the Padres. We know you were able to corner AJ. I don't want you to tell us anything you learned on that because we're going to play that for our listeners here in a bit. However, what about day 2 made it somewhat newsy outside? Was it the Diaz and Schwarber news?
Yeah. I mean, I think those are the 2 keys. I don't know that any of us are super surprised that Schwarber's going back to the Phillies. I mean, it kind of seemed based on what people here have said that, there was interest from other teams and they were fielding offers from other teams, but that the Phillies were always going to have sort of the final say. And, from their perspective, how do you let Kyle Schwarber go? I mean, what he means to that lineup, to that team, the way he fits, just the personality of the team, I think the city, the way they feel about him, and coming off that season. I mean, is $150 million over 5 years that much for a guy that can put up,
It-
45, 50 home runs a year. It doesn't seem like
it does feel a little short, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like an overpay, certainly. So if I'm the Phillies, if he would have went on that deal to somebody else, if I'm a Phillies fan, I'm losing my mind. So I'm not surprised at all that a team that, has spent for free agents, ponied up to go get Schwarber. And again, I didn't feel like the contract was outlandish at all. On the flip side of that, and this does have Padres tentacles to it, the Diaz signing by the Dodgers, I thought was kind of a stunner. I mean, look, the Mets love this guy. He's been a huge, huge part of their team the last handful of years. He's also been terrific. And you think about the Mets and Steve Cohen, for them to lose out on Diaz, you have to wonder kind of what happened there. They signed Devin Williams for not that much less. It was 3 years, I think $53 million, and he goes to the Dodgers. Diaz does for 3 years, whatever it was, $69 million. I mean, just to lose Diaz over that seems kind of unbelievable. And look, the Dodgers are so unique, and this is where it has the Padres tentacles to it. They're so unique because they can go out and spend the kind of money they did on somebody like a Tanner Scott last year, have him not pitch well, and then basically just go out the next year and go get a guy in Edwin Diaz who has been really good for a long time. So they can cover up those blemishes, and we'll see. But obviously that does affect the NL West in some capacity.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I think what the Dodgers are able to do is they can afford to miss, right? As you just basically said, Tanner Scott,
Yep,
you sign him for all that money. If that is any other team, really, outside of maybe the Yankees, having a closer disappoint in the way Tanner did would be devastating. But they also are smart enough to know that relievers are fickle, and no matter how bad last year looked, he can turn right around and return to form. And now all of a sudden you got two guys that can throw the ball at the back end of the bullpen. So we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Padres obviously deal with it in a unique way because they are so close to it, both divisionally, but also this is a team that's come very, very close the last couple of years to knocking this team off, whether it was in the postseason in 24 or winning the division in 25. And I will continue to say, and I had this conversation with somebody today just randomly, I'll continue to say, like, not winning the division was such a big deal for the Padres last year. That would have changed so much. How different would it have been to be playing the Reds at home rather than having to go on the road to Wrigley?
Not only that, I think it's psychological for it would, we would be looking at the Edwin Diaz signing a lot differently had the Padres won
like they
that
got to
division.
beef up.
Right, 100%.
They got to beef up.
But because the Padres didn't take advantage of that, kind of lull the Dodgers had, now we're here talking about it the way we are.
It is what it is. The Dodgers are going to do what they do right now. All 29 other teams have to deal with it right now. But obviously it hits the Padres, I think, a little bit harder than other teams.
Talking to Sammy Lev, he's out in Orlando at the winter meetings and doing a great job covering it for us. Now, I want to ask you about the rumor of the entire winter meetings, which is basically AJ Preller is going to pull off a bigger trade or a bigger acquisition than Juan Soto trade a couple years ago. What are you hearing about that, Sam?
Yeah, now the conversation today.
When
Sam gives that kind of laughter.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing I'll say about it, and look, I love Kevin AC. I'm not, let me start over. I love Kevin. My point is, with AJ, it always feels like there's a possibility that he's going to do something really, really big. So I'm not necessarily surprised that there's rumblings of that, and I'm sure there are. I'm sure that's based on Kevin's reporting, that's credible. I'm just not surprised. Like, it's not some shock. Right. I think all of a sudden you're looking at it last night and you're going like, whoa, something big. So what's that going to be? Because kind of seems like, well, it's probably less likely that it's you trading a big-time package prospect for a Tarek Skubal. I'm just throwing out names, okay? A Tarek Skubal, because I don't know that they have the prospects right now to do something like that. Is it something where it's a need for a need involving a significant major league player? Is it something where it is trading a big part of this franchise, a franchise-altering type of move? Those are the kind of things that I think you start wondering about when you see something like that. And then, I did see AJ was asked about it. He was asked if, I don't know if you played this or saw it, but he was asked on MLB Network today. AJ did his rounds, did it TV, did MLB Network radio.
We have not been able to get to that yet, but we will.
So he was, I did watch it. He essentially was asked, is anybody untouchable? And look, not the easy, but one thing AJ could do is say, yeah, so-and-so are untouchable. He did not do that.
He would never do that.
He never would do that. He never would do that, which Tony is kind of my point overall.
Right, right.
You can try to get him and try to read into, possibility this. Oh, he's not. Oh, could they trade it to teams? Oh my God. Are they going to, I saw something today about, could they pair Mason Miller with the Manny Machado contract and get the haul of all hauls? I'm sitting here thinking, I get it. They're in a tight financial spot with the payroll. They have needs. I get it that this would be a time where if AJ is going to have the most creative blockbuster trade you've ever seen, it would make a lot of sense. I just sit here and I think about that's kind of always the deal with AJ.
Right.
It always could be a possibility, and he's never going to tell you what's going on. Okay,
Sam, you look at it the same way I do. It's not so much a surprise. It's just kind of, let's just see how crazy it can get. Because at the end of the day, what I've learned about AJ is that he's very creative, and on top of that, if there has been a rumor of a wild deal out there, there's a chance that he's the one that kind of started it. It didn't mean that he explored it. It just means that he is open to any and everything. And to your point, he's never going to let you know or let you have any read on the cards he's holding in his hand.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he ends up successful on a lot of these deals he makes, because he's not showing his hand anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, it really is you read the things from around the meetings here, you watch different things from other general managers, and it just is sometimes kind of remarkable how different it is just looking at other teams. There are a lot of GMs. And again, this is not be clear, this is not a knock on AJ. He's pulled off a lot of big time moves to get a lot of big time players. So from that perspective, what he does works and it gets it done and it finds a way to get deals done. But man, there are GMs that they'll tell you, you've got, a GM saying, we're taking calls in this, or, if there's the right fit, we're going to try to move. Like you will never get anything close to that from AJ. So you got to roll with it. And I'm not surprised that there are things being tossed around and he's listening on certain guys, but I think that's genuinely what AJ is pretty much doing all the time.
Yeah, he's predisposed to listening and hearing what you have to say. Sam Levitt, the great, joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. Sam, are you surprised at how quiet it's been on Robert Suarez? I get the sense that too many teams are undervaluing how good he actually is.
Yeah. I'm wondering now with Diaz signing and Williams has already signed, if the market for Robert starts to percolate a little bit more. I think he makes a ton of sense for a lot of teams. And I'm with you, Tony. Look, I felt at times in San Diego from the fan base standpoint that we kind of undervalued him. I mean, did he have some rough outings, and were there some kind of rocky stretches in the second half of both of the last couple of seasons? There were. But the bottom line is, when you put just closers up on a board and see how consistent this guy was for the most part, day in, day out, getting it done, I mean, he really, really did a great job. And I think he's going to get significant money. I don't know how you look at his performance and you look at what Williams got and you look at what Edwin Diaz got today. Even if you would put again, Diaz has had his ups and downs as well. Maybe you'd put Robert in a slightly lower tier than an Edwin Diaz, and Devin Williams, had his struggles with the Yankees last season. However you want to rank these guys, I would think Robert's going to get significant money. Could Robert get the kind of deal that, or somewhere close, that Devin Williams got? 3 years, 40-something million, 50 million. I totally could see that. He's been very, very good. And look, the Padres are in a position where, they've got a strong bullpen. Look, I think they probably even wish that they were in a position where they could re-sign him and continue to have that mix of Suarez and Miller and Morahone in the back end. But look, Robert's going to get, I think, a pretty big deal, and I think it's going to be a very nice ad for a team because he's really, really good, and he's been really good for a while, and certainly we saw that in San Diego.
Talking to Sam Levitt out there at the winter meetings in Orlando, Florida right now, and Nick Pivetta. You asked Dennis Lynn about him a little bit earlier. This is another name that kind of came out of nowhere as a name that we're talking a lot about in a trade in the winter meetings. I mean, what's the likelihood something like that happens? I know we talked yesterday, and it was like you don't trade from a position of strength, which they have, or from a. You know what I'm saying, Sam? I got confused in my own head. Well, you don't trade from a position that you need, and you already have a good player there.
There you go.
Yeah, let me take that in a few different directions. Number one, talking to Dennis a little bit further today, he was very clear. It's not likely that they're going to deal Pivetta. In fact, when I said the word shopping to him, I phrased it as, you said they're shopping Nick Pivetta. He was actually very quick to correct me in saying, well, they're not shopping per se, but they're listening, right? They are open to taking calls. And what that may mean is, they're getting calls on a guy like Nick Pivetta, and AJ's answering and saying, what do you got? It's not, a shutdown conversation. So, look, I still put that as very unlikely, but who knows? As far as the dealing from a position of strength, I do think that is an interesting part of this in conversation, and it goes back to some of what's been discussed the last couple of days and some of what I've talked with AJ about. And that is, look, the Padres have spots on this roster where they can deal from. You could argue their lineup is one of them. Not that trading a Jake Cronenworth is some little deal. It's not, but could you make the argument that you could subtract from there and figure it out in order to get pieces back to complete your roster? You can. The bullpen. AJ today was asked specifically about Jeremiah Estrada by one of our local beat reporters. In typical AJ fashion, he didn't give anything. A whole lot, and he's not going to talk about the individual player. However, I'll just say this. It's probably a reason one of those guys asked him about it, okay, when you get into a player like that. And the bottom line is that's a position of strength. The bullpen, okay, it's a place where you could take a really valuable arm in an Estrada, and if you had the right offer and that could be part of a package to help you in other areas, would make a little sense because you've got a really good bullpen. So, look, I do think there's a chance when all is said and done this offseason, they will, quote unquote, deal from a position of strength in order to add. And I think when you say add right now, we are like just zeroing in on the starting pitching right now. You're just zeroing in on how are you going to assemble as quality a rotation as you can. And I don't know that any of that's going to come into focus over the course of the next 24 hours here, but I think that should be the focus heading into the holidays and into 2026 as this offseason unravels.
Sam, you've
I like how he said unravels.
You've given up enough of your time, man. It's time to go eat.
Yeah.
Find yourself something good to eat.
I know.
He had payway yesterday. He doesn't need payway.
It was good. You know what? But I like that it traveled well. It showed up hot.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like that. So we'll see. I'm probably going to do that again because it worked out yesterday. And I think I actually kept it under $20 with the delivery. So it was friendly.
All right.
Has the Klug stamp of approval. So.
By the way, last time we talked to you, Sam, and I was like, Sam is the favorite for Adam when it comes to like
I know he told me
expenses.
You asked him.
Yes, and I said, is Sam really your favorite? And he did the whole I don't have favorites thing, but he is really good at expenses.
I'm really good. Always.
Thank you.
Time and under budget. Right. On time and under budget.
Thank you for your time,
Sam.
brother.
Right.
Have
See
fun
you
tonight.
guys. Talk to you
See ya.
tomorrow. See ya.
Bye.
Sam Levitt, the great.
The great one.
About to have some payway. All right, let's get
I like how he acted like we've never heard of pay. Have you guys ever heard of this place called Payway?
Yes, we have. All guests on 97th on the 97.3. On 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's get to break. Gwynn versus the fans on the other side.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. wants to attack me. Girly! Ah. We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after
It was a 5-footer.
after our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Skraby. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We still have those tickets to give away for the Aztecs basketball game, so stay tuned for that. Right now, we are doing Gwynn versus the fans. I'm Matt Skraby, filling in for the idol, Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., over in Chris's chair, kind of sitting back, watching the coverage of David Stearns right now on the winter meetings. I guess it's GM day, or did they split them up? I think maybe
David
they split
Stern
them up.
has a mean widow's peak.
Yeah, I've never noticed, but he does have a mean widow's peak. He definitely does. Do they?
With the exception of AJ Preller, does not every GM look exactly the same? They dress the same.
Yeah,
they're half zips.
They do. They do.
Probably walking
The
around
half
with
zip.
half zip and a matcha.
Oh my god! I was born to be a baseball GM. I love the half zip.
Half zip and a matcha. That's
and
what
a matcha. You have
that's
to
what
have
these
the
guys
matcha.
are all walking around. They got the same, except for AJ, who you probably will find. If he wouldn't get talked about, he probably would show up in 1998 basketball shorts, which are the N1 shorts that go down to your knees.
Yeah, he looks like Adam Sandler. He looks
And
like
now,
a big
I will
old
give
shorts.
AJ some credit because he has stepped his wardrobe up for the last couple of years.
Yeah, someone get to him.
I don't know.
They got a girlfriend or what? It's like,
that was the other
life.
thought, but I don't know that either. But
That's one thing. That's one thing AJ's really good at is
keeping his life private.
There's actually an article that just came out, and it was a bunch of different writers on The Athletic, but they were talking about different deals that were made, trades that were made, and where they happened and everything. Apparently, AJ Preller, his parents gets poor cell phone reception at their New York home, so he goes to the 7-Eleven parking lot 3 days away, and apparently
how many days away?
Or sorry, three blocks away.
Oh, okay. 3 days away.
That would be a long drive for a phone call. He said that's where he set the stage for acquisitions of Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, and Joe Musgrove. Someone needs to go to this 7-Eleven and put a plaque up there.
I think he needs to go to the 7-Eleven. Apparently, good luck pulling off those deals.
See, AJ, come on, man. 7-Eleven, I
Who
love
would've thought
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven is a spot.
Did you ever call it Sevy a Levy?
No, I never did anything
In high school, we call it Sevy a Levy.
Why?
Because it sounded fun. All right, at 4:20, I'm just going to keep moving on. Ryan Bodratelli, Aztec assistant men's basketball coach, is going to join us. So we need to get right into Gwynn versus the fans. But you know what? I failed on getting the open, so we're getting the old one. I don't have time.
If If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
We have 2 open lines right now to take on Tony, 833-288-0973. If you win, you will be qualified for a shot at the grand prize. 2 tickets to New Kids on the Block in Las Vegas on June 26th, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and a $100 gas card. Calling all blockheads. New Kids on the Block just announced 2026 dates for their Right Stuff Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Don't miss all your favorite hits live in Vegas with NKOTB, February through October 2026. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
For the record, did you make up that? Never mind.
The NKOTB?
No, the Blockhead.
No, that's what
it's on there. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it said. I honestly think that's kind of weird.
Kind of made up. Nobody was calling them the
Dave
Blockheads.
Marcus write this line in?
He's just trying to be hip.
He was like, calling all blockheads.
Calling all blockheads.
Hey, Tony, calling all blockheads.
All right. Let's get into Gwynn.
Sorry, Dave. You catching some strays over here, man.
Let's go to Tom.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're
good.
well.
Oh, I never read the rules. Hang right there, Tom. Sorry about that. If you have to make it through 3 questions, each question is going to get more difficult. If you get it right, you move on. If you get the question wrong and Tony gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Tony gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that first question for free today. All right, Tom, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see here. Let me just ask you this because I think it's fair. Did you hear Sam Levitt's interview last segment?
I did.
Okay. Where did Sam Levitt eat dinner last night?
Do you want International Drive in Orlando, which is difficult to walk, or do you want Payway? Which do you want?
Oh, wow. I like that, Tom. Wow, that was good stuff. Nice job.
I've done so many trade shows in Orlando, and he's exactly right there, not walking distance or Uber and everything. So he was spot on for sure.
Oh, wow. You got the insight on Orlando. I love this. All right, Tom, you're on to question number 2. Let's see. All right. How many offensive players have to be on the line of scrimmage in the NFL?
5 guard tackles. I'm going to say, how's it, 6 or 7? I'm going to say 7.
You are correct.
Nice
job, Tom.
Oh.
Yeah, 7. You have to have 7 on the line or else it's a legal formation. All right, here we go. Third and final question, Tom. You could really save us on some time right here.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying.
Thank you. I think Tom is going to know this, but who has hit the most home runs for the Reds in their franchise history?
I think he's got this.
Tom? Still got your Tom?
I'm going Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench is correct. Wow.
Nice work.
Stay there, Tom. That was a clean sweep.
I enjoy a clean sweep.
Me too. That was a good one.
I
too.
don't have to look like an idiot not knowing a few of these. And Tom looks like just the best sports fan ever.
I wish it was a matchup against Chris so I could see Chris go down.
Yeah. Nice work, Tom. That was very impressive. Right
Nate on the chat says Tom with the 6-7.
6-7. Oh, man. I'm so tired of that. I'll be glad when that goes away.
Is it not going away?
Oh, no. I think these children are going to keep it here for as long as they possibly can.
Great. Love it.
Like one of these things that no one can explain. They just like saying it all the time.
I got to say, Tony, your lighting is much better than my lighting.
Is it my lighting booming?
Your lighting is great. My lighting looks like I'm in a cave.
Well, you got to splice it up a little bit. Maybe, you got to hit the plus button. Okay, you're at plussed out. We'll bring this one over here and get you a little more light.
No, Sam Levitt sometimes puts
Yeah, you
3
know,
lights on him.
he definitely.
He'll be like, I can't believe this is oh my gosh, I have to go get this now. I gotta put the light here.
Which you guys don't know because Sam is pretty buttoned up when he's on air, and you guys hear from him during the post game and the pregame. He's buttoned up, but my man is. Things need to be quite right for him. He doesn't like proceeding if things are not quite right.
Except for when I love it when he complains to me. Does Chris clean his station when he leaves?
He seems like he's a kind of a tidy person.
Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, which is weird that Chris doesn't clean his station. I know that we're taking shots and he can't
you're
defend
taking
himself
shots.
right now.
That's particular, maybe as usual for you. You kind of when he's not here, you get about. I'm surprised it took you this long to get that one off. Usually, you get about 2 or 3 off in the first couple hours.
Yeah, that's true. I've been nice to him. Chris did text us saying everything's on time, so I'm waiting for the text telling us that he's stuck at Chipotle or Jersey Mike's,
or that the internet's not working in the building,
or he's going to be in a gym and it's going to be incredibly loud.
That's how I think he joined us in the gym. One of them
he did,
and the ball we could just hear like every bouncing ball that was going on in that building.
It's not too cold there. I guess tomorrow it's going to be 43, but he can go sit outside.
Looks like there's some serious weather up in the northwest and then about to hit the east coast there. One of those what is that? The
nor'easter?
Yeah, one of them crazy winter storms coming.
I know we have a listener, Dom, who lives in Baltimore.
Ooh, yeah, so my sister's up in DC. So
there you go.
They're definitely going to get some of that. All right, let's slide away. Let's get the break. What we got on the other side?
We got our guy. Remember Ryan Bodritelli?
Oh, that's right. Talk some Aztec hoops on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris. The David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Ryan Bedratelli joins us, Aztec assistant on the men's hoop side. Coach Ryan, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
I want to kind of go back a little bit because we haven't really got a chance to speak with you guys since the players tournament that you guys had a few weeks ago. Obviously, I don't know if that went the way that everybody expected, but I'm sure there was some learning experiences for this roster. What kind of things were you able to pull from that kind of tournament as you guys took on Utah Valley and were able to kind of get back in the winning lane a little bit?
Well, I mean, you go into those tournaments and especially with the experience last year, having, had a chance to beat Creighton and Houston, and you're hoping for wins like that. And then when you have the results that we have, obviously you feel a little bit disappointed in terms of just the result. But at the end of the day, all these experiences, all these games, especially the high-level games, they're data points. I mean, they give you an opportunity to learn about your team, learn about the things that you do well, where you need to grow and develop. So again, I mean, you go and play that tournament and you know what it is. I mean, it's high-level basketball, and all those games feel like NCAA tournament games. And so, that environment are going to be experiences that we're hopefully able to draw from when we're in those experiences, hopefully when we get to March. And you come away and you use those experiences to know what you're doing well, but most importantly, what you got to do better. And for us, we needed to, reestablish our defensive and toughness identity. And I think we're moving in that direction and understanding the level of defense that is expected from this coaching staff and how to, raise the level for our team to perform the way that we need to perform to be at our best.
Now, Coach, obviously this program is known for its defense. A lot was made of the 80 points that was given up on consecutive nights there, but obviously against some of the top tier, competition in all of the nation. What type of reestablishing goes on after a couple performances like that? How do you get the team back in the mindset of understanding, what the staff is looking for on that side of the ball?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, you get back to your fundamentals. You get back into, what you work on in the summer and what you work on in the fall in terms of, how you get in the stance, how you stay connected, how you work with each other. We say all the time, like, you play against San Diego State, like, you're not playing one-on-one defense. You're playing 1 against 5. And so, showing on film, like, what that looks like. And to be honest with you, we showed a little bit of film from previous years. All right, this is what Aztec defense looks like. This is what we expect. This is what we are trying to shoot for as a team. And so you show some of those things, and then you get back to work. I mean, you got no other choice. I mean, at that point we're, 5, 6 games in, and we say, you know what, here are these data points. Here's where we're at. And here are the ways that we got to get better. And so we have to, establish ourselves, on the defensive side first. I mean, we say all the time, like, defense travels, and that's something that we have to hang our hat on. And everybody knows in this program, they're recruited, with the intent to come here and learn how to defend and defend at an extremely high level. And so there's nobody in our room that's surprised or shocked when we go at them and challenge them defensively, because they know what they signed up for. And we know that that's how we win big. I mean, we're going to be able to be in every single game because of our defense, and our offense, depending on how we're doing on that night, will determine, in our opinion, like, how much we win by. But our defense is going to be what's the stability and the most consistent part of what we do.
Coach Ryan Bedratelli joins us here, Aztecs men's assistant basketball coach. Ryan, I know Coach Dutch had a conversation with Mark Ziegler about going into that Utah Valley game, about the possibility of trying to figure out whether it was just, the guys kind of needing to recommit, or if there was something that maybe the staff had to do to kind of adjust to this staff. How do you come to the conclusion one way or another, which way it's going to go for this particular team that you guys have?
Well, every team has their own, a little bit of a different identity. And again, like I said, as you go through games, you start learning, all right, where are the areas of emphasis that you need to make to continue to grow. The reality, as much as we return from this team, there's still a lot of guys with a lot of new roles. And learning how to play in those different roles is part of it. Getting guys back from injury is also part of it as well. And then we have some really important pieces of new guys. And so some of it is just getting to the point where we're playing enough games and getting enough data to understand, okay, where are our deficiencies? How do we need to grow? And if we do need to change, some sort of schematic, points, whether it's defensive or offensive, those are the things that we need to do. But we're pretty certain, that we know what it looks like in terms of what Aztec defense is, what it, takes to, play hard more consistently. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to do is we need to be the more competitive, hardest playing team more consistently than we're willing to do up to this point. Sometimes you have to go through hard lessons. I mean, it's like when you're raising your kids, sometimes they have to experience some hardship. So you get their attention. We do different things to get their attention along the way, but there's nothing more attention grabbing than losing. And there's nothing more attention grabbing than being on the bench. And so some of those lessons are hard lessons that young people learn. But if you've been doing this long enough, you understand that if you have talent, if you have guys that have character and integrity and are about the right things, usually those lessons, don't fall on deaf ears. And I think we're getting their attention little by little. And it was a reality check being in Vegas because there was a lot of talk about how good we're supposed to be. And we are very talented and we have a chance to be really, really good. But you're not going to wake up one morning and that's not just going to happen. No one's going to give it to you. We're San Diego State. We have a giant bullseye on our back, both, in the state of California and nationally. And our guys need to embrace that. And some of those guys are new guys that have never really experienced that before. And some of them are older guys that haven't really been the top of the scouting report before either. And so there's a lot of newness that I think some people don't recognize, and maybe even our coaching staff didn't recognize fully. But now we're here and we understand, okay, it's real. It's real. And what we're getting from our opponents is real every night. There's nobody that's going to overlook us, whether it's Michigan or Utah Valley or Troy or anybody. I mean, it's going to be a real barometer for where their program is and how they perform against us.
Ryan Babratelli joins us here on Gwynn and Chris, Aztecs assistant men's basketball coach. And Ryan, I mean, it seemed like it was a matter of time, and then finally it happened. LZ Harrington takes that point guard spot. He gets the start against Utah Valley. What is it about this young man? It just seems like he's so poised, always seemingly under control. What is it about this young man that has really, led to everybody believing he's got a very, very high ceiling?
Yeah, he's an extraordinary talent. Obviously, I think everyone's able to see that. I think the one thing that people don't realize is how committed he is to learning the game. He's a real student. I mean, he's a guy that's incredibly smart, almost to a fault, where he sometimes asks too many questions, where sometimes you just got to go through things a little bit and experience it. But he wants to be great. And all of our guys in our program do. But at his stage, being a freshman, he already has an understanding of a little bit what it takes in terms of the day-to-day stuff. I mean, he is learning how to become an everyday guy. He's learning how to take care of his body. He's learning how to study film. He's learning how to really ask the questions, especially as a point guard, where you need to understand where every guy is on the court. You can't just know what your job is. You have to know what everybody else's job is so that you can put guys in the right spots and have the right cadence in terms of running offense. He's learning how to play, Aztec defense, and that's, a challenge for any young player is playing every single possession and being intent on every possession. And so he's learning, but he's highly competitive and he's highly motivated and he's mature beyond his years in terms of his engagement and his preparation, which, makes him ready for these moments. And he's going to go through his ups and downs, obviously, but it won't be, because he's not trying to learn and grow every day. It's just going to be because he's young, and hopefully by the time we get to conference and towards, as we get towards February and March, he's just playing his best basketball, which I believe he will.
Gwynn Goff missed a ton of time leading up to the season, had to deal with the knee issue. How much of what we're seeing from Gwynn is more, mentally trying to get past what he's dealing with? Because obviously he's healthy. You guys have him out on the court and you see flashes of it. But being at the game last week, it does seem like he's thinking about it a little bit. How long before you think that starts to kind of move and he starts to kind of return to his normal self?
I think it's going to be incremental. I mean, I think every time he's taken the court, it's been little by little. We would all like it, and mostly he would like it to be further along than he is, and that's part of the problem. Is when you're a young player. And especially with the way he was playing when he got injured, he was playing at such a high level. and it's almost he almost forgot what it took to get to play at that level. It was a process, and you know, everybody wants it to go faster, and nobody wants it faster than he does, and so he's managing some of that understanding of what that progression needs to look like, and to expect that he was going to step on the floor and be what he was, you know, at the time of the injury was almost ignorant, and no one blames anybody for that expectation. It's just kind of what it is. And so what he needs to do more than anything is just get his rhythm back, get his conditioning back, all the things that he's working towards. And just the expectations were so high, and everyone's expecting him to step on the court and just hit the ground running.
Right.
And the reality is, like, and just think, he stepped on the court at the Players era. I mean, it wasn't like he eased into the season.
Right.
Here's Michigan. Here's, you know, arguably one of the top 5 teams in the country. Good luck. And then it was back-to-back games. And then, you know, so if you look at really what the cadence was for him in terms of like that ramp up, it was really challenging, and he was up for it. But I think, you know, in his eyes, and even maybe in ours, we thought it was maybe easier than it was going to be. And so the reality is, like, those are all experiences for him. And to play at this level, you need to be in elite conditioning. And he wasn't going to get in elite shape until he was actually getting court time. And so now that he's getting court time, he's starting to get his wind back. And then after that, like any sport, it's now you got to build timing. Now you got to figure out like the timing of the game and you know, different nuances that go along with that. And so there's all these moving parts for him, and his head's spinning, and we've all seen that. We've seen his head spinning, and so he's going to go through a little bit of a process. And thankfully, he's fully healthy. Like, he's got no pain in his knees, and he's healthy. It's just now he's got to work through the mental side of it, and he's got to work through the conditioning side of it, which is all part of what he's got to do to get there. And you know, I tell him all the time, I'm like, you're going to look back and be appreciative of this struggle, because this struggle is going to make him better in the long run, not just for this year, but for his career. Because if he has any setbacks, he'll be able to draw from these experiences, which are super valuable, you know, just for his future moving forward. And I you know, the biggest thing is he doesn't get overly frustrated, that he stays positive, and he has for the most part. And now he's got to just continue to build off of it.
Aztecs return to action tomorrow against Lamar. Coach, appreciate your time coming on, and good luck tomorrow. We'll certainly be behind you, sharing.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. Ryan Badratelli. Ryan Badratelli, Aztecs assistant men's basketball coach, joining us there on Gwynn and Chris. All right, let's get to break. On the other side. Oh, yeah, by the way, all guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Up next, Skraby's Big Five. More Gwynn and Chris.
Gwynn and Chris.
of our reads up to date. Everything is going well here on the show.
That's what I do. Don't misread.
That is true. We're also saying that while Chris can't defend himself over here, he is.
This had nothing to do with Chris, so that was just me.
I brought it up for a reason.
Of course. Yeah, I know you brought it up
for a reason. I'm Matt Skraby. That is Tony Gwynn Jr. Chris Ello out in Kansas. We're going to get to him in just a second. He's already connected, but we have a bunch of topics to talk about here in the Big Five, so let's just get right into it.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Busy ride on some of our roads this afternoon. Crash on southbound 5 before Genesee. It's in the center divide. Up ahead, an accident has cleared near SeaWorld Drive. Eastbound 8, an accident has just cleared near the South 5 connector, but up ahead near Mission Center Road, reports of a possible brush or encampment fire. Some smoke visible from the right shoulder. Accident still clearing from the College Avenue off-ramp westbound King Freeway. And in the North County, westbound 78 before Emerald, accident in the center divide. Also have reports of a crash along westbound 76 at Via Montserrat. That's over to the left shoulder. Whether you're dashing through San Diego or heading out of town, make sure your car's in the game. Friendly techs at Valvoline Instant Oil Change will check your lights, wipers, tire pressure, battery, and more with every oil change. Grab holiday savings now at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we got a lot of video today, but let's check in with Chris. Chris, we're going to get into your trip a little bit around 5 o'clock, but how are you doing, sir? You hanging in there?
Yeah, very good, guys. Good to talk to you. And yes, I did hear that little dig that without me, all the reads are getting read. So I'm glad to see things are going along so smoothly.
Once again, it was Skraby when you were not here to defend yourself.
He was on the line. I knew what I was doing.
He never just says hello, how are you? He has to open with a dig.
He doesn't. He's never said hello, how are you?
I don't know why I'm like.
No, even when I walk in during a normal afternoon, he opens with a dig.
It's either like me tapping my watch, like tick, 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 tick. Anyway. All right, Chris, we'll talk about your trip here at 5 p.m., but let's get right into it.
Number 5.
Troy Aikman is done with NIL, guys. He joined the latest episode of Sports Media with Richard Deitch. Deitch? Yeah, I think it's Deitch. Where they began talking about Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for LSU, and after Aikman acknowledged he believes players should have the right to leave a school when a coach does, he aired his grievances with the transfer portal at NIL. Why can I not talk
I don't know.
today?
What's going on, man? You all right?
Quote.
You got to track the letters. You got to
Okay. I just said everything's going great, and now everything is not going great. Quote. I gave money to a kid. I won't mention who. I've done it one time at UCLA. Never met the young man. He was there a year. He left after the year. I wrote a sizable check, and he went to another school. I didn't even get as much as a thank you note. So it's one of those deals to where I'm done with the NFL. I want to see UCLA. NIL. Okay. Man, I jinxed myself.
Sure. He's still well in the NFL. He does games every week.
Man, I jinxed myself. I want to see UCLA be successful, but I'm done with it, end quote. Tony, is Troy Aikman in his feelings? Or does he have a point?
I mean, he's probably in his feelings. I mean, I don't know. Are all the players required to send thank you cards after the
I think it would be nice, though.
I'm just saying, it's name, image, and likeness. You are paying for name, image, and likeness. I don't know. Let's see who signed it. Edwin Diaz, is he writing a thank you note to?
It's different. It's professional.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to. I don't write a thank you note to Mr. Odyssey. But if Troy Aikman gave me $1 million, I would write a thank you note to him.
That's the thing. Is he giving it directly to player? How is that
working? He said
working?
he wrote a check for a player. I gave money to a kid.
I mean, I guess if that's the case, if he handed him the check in his hand and was like, hey,
I don't think
here
he
you
did
go.
that.
But I'm saying.
Oh, he said he's never met the guy.
My point. And I think my point is that I think a lot of these college NIL athletes, they may not even know where the money is exactly coming from.
Okay, fair point.
They're just, they pick up their check. I don't know, it's weekly, every 2 weeks, however it is broken down. I don't know that they even know that there's a check or who the check is cutting the check. They know there's a lot of money out there. They may not know exactly where it's coming from.
Okay, fair enough.
So at least from that standpoint, wanting a thank you, I think might be, although it sounds nice, these are also 18, 19, 20-year-olds that probably ain't thinking about where it's coming from.
I wrote thank you notes when I was 18, 19, and 20.
No, I didn't say that they can't write a thank you note. I'm just saying that probably are oblivious to where the money is actually coming from.
I can buy that. Chris, is Troy Aikman just in his feelings?
Let me finish my thing.
I
do think that he has a right to be like, yeah, this ain't worth it. I feel used. This kid ended up leaving to go to another school after I just forked over $1 million.
Well, you shouldn't have given money to Nico. I am a leaving anyway.
I mean, it's UCLA, right? Is that? I assume that's what he did. Well, he knew what he was. He knew what he was giving his money. Of course, I knew it was Troy Aikman. He went to UCLA.
All right, Chris, what do you think? Is he in his feelings?
Not only is he in his feelings, but his memory is a little faulty.
Did he get some
let's take us
payouts
back
back
now
in the
to
day?
Troy. No, but let's take us back to Troy Aikman's college football career. He did play at UCLA, as Tony pointed out, but only after he originally enrolled at Oklahoma, and he was out of there before he even learned how to spell Oklahoma. So I'm assuming, even though it wasn't an NIL day, he probably got a pretty good sized scholarship to go to Oklahoma. He pretty much spit on that, left for greener pastures of UCLA. And I bet you dollars to donuts, Troy Aikman didn't write anybody a thank you note for that Oklahoma scholarship that he got. So I think he's definitely in his feelings. This is the way it is in this day and age. He doesn't have to be a part of it if he doesn't want to, but this is what he should have expected, because I assume he did something similar back in his day.
Word up.
All right.
Hey.
Sorry, Troy. Because I like Troy Aikman. You guys know that. But
Troy's very
I got to
angry
call
with
him
you.
out on this one.
Troy's very angry with you right now, Chris.
Yeah, right. I know. Because I brought it up. He didn't think anybody would think about it.
That's very true. But Chris Ello is on the case.
Number 4.
All right, Shedeur Sanders had a pretty good he's now QB1, by the way, for the Browns. And he had a pretty impressive game, decently impressive against the Titans in a loss, but the post-game interview is shining the light on some of these reporters. Here is the post-game interview in Cleveland after the game.
Is he the intended target there? And when you let it go, did you know that he was going to go get it?
Nah. All right, come on.
I mean, I'm saying it was a great pass.
Who would be the intended target?
The whole play, not the throw. The whole play. When you come up
I got you. I know we practiced something and we executed it.
Did it work in practice?
No, we just called it in the game and it didn't work in practice. I don't think you call plays in the game that didn't work in practice.
So that's what happened. That's some of the highlights from it. And many people are talking about these reporters. So, Chris, you're up first here. Were those honest questions or clown questions?
Clown questions. These guys, I mean, come on, do a better job, honestly. I honestly feel like they're trying to hang him out and make him look bad. They really are. I mean, he's going to be combative. Okay, that's fine. But there's a lot of guys that are combative. You can still ask a legit question. And if you're going to ask something stupid like, did the play work in practice, you deserve a stupid answer. You just do. And
he interrupted him, too.
I mean, yeah, I mean, look, Shedeur, right, Tony, it sounds like Dion is back, isn't it? I mean, this is Dion all over again.
He
but
definitely has some.
That's
of his
okay. You got to know
sure.
you got to know who you're dealing with, but prepare yourself a couple of good questions, please. I mean, you owe it at least that much. So, I mean, I learned that interviewing a guy named Hank Egan when he was at USD, basketball coach. And
if I'd ask him a dumb question after the game, he would look at me and he'd go, Chris, that's a dumb question. You're going to have to do better. And at that exact moment, I thought, okay, that's kind of harsh. But, man, it really taught me the lesson I needed to learn, to be prepared. And when I got to the NBA and I started asking Pat Riley questions, believe me, I didn't want to ask him dumb questions. So I was glad I learned.
No, you did not.
No, he sounds scary. Tony, are these honest questions or clown questions?
The first one I think was
I agree.
He just worded it poorly.
He did, and then he said,
and he tried to
yes.
kind of clear it up. And
I'm
I think,
okay with that.
And
one.
I think Shedeur understood after he cleared it up. But the second one that was interrupted in there was dumb. Like, did it work in practice? And on top of that, I don't know. I've watched a lot of these interviews as it's been, as Shedeur's got to start. Every week so far, there's been at least 3 questions, whether they're legit questions or not, purposely trying to get him to contradict what his coach has done. And in each time, he's pretty much aced the test, basically saying the right thing. And it just speaks to what Chris is getting at, is it does seem like there are certain folks in the media that are intentionally trying to get him caught up or to say something dumb. But although he has some Dion in him, he also is pretty intelligent like his pops.
Yeah.
He's not going to let you trap him in some of these questions. So
no, he knows what he's doing.
He's and this has been since he was the 5th string quarterback at one point. Like, they're asking him these questions even then to try to get it, and he's handled it the way he should. So keep playing well, and I hope the questions will start to get better at this
clown question, bro.
Number 3.
Shout out to Bryce Harper for coming up with that.
Yeah, sorry, real quick, just to add one last thing. I would have loved to see me find out something from Pat Riley and then go to Magic Johnson and try to trap Magic Johnson.
Right. Are you kidding me?
I would have loved to see how that went over back in the day. These reporters, and you agree, Skraby, with us, this is what reporters are doing. They want to be the one that gets the soundbite from him, and that's just too bad.
Also, they're covering a team that's, I think, won 3 games this year, so I don't know. It's just a mess, but I agree with you guys on this one. All right, number 3. Chargers won the game last night against the Eagles, but Justin Herbert, he just wanted to celebrate with his teammates, man. ESPN's Laura Rutledge actually had to chase him down a little bit. I'm putting up the video on the stream right now, but here is what happened with Justin Herbert and Laura Rutledge.
I'm trying to celebrate with my team. No, I know, but can you just talk to me really fast? What was it like to watch the interception there that sealed this game for you guys to get this win? Yeah, the defense played incredible. They came up with so many big stops today, so proud to be able to play for those guys, and the way they compete down in, down out is really fun to watch. You were dealing with a broken hand tonight. You gutted it out. You were hit multiple times. How are you feeling right now? Feel pretty good, thank you. And then what can you say about the way that this team...
All right, you guys get the point. He was not having it. He was trying to walk away from the interview, all of the above. So my question to you, Tony, is bad reaction by Herbert or stupid segment we don't need by ESPN?
Okay, well, they do that segment after every game.
Every game.
And so at this point, I have to kind of blame Justin Herbert. Like, you're the quarterback. Typically, it's a quarterback they're interviewing, especially one named Justin Herbert. When the team comes, pulls off the victory they did against the defending Super Bowl champs. I get it. He's probably taxed for how much he had to talk about the hand leading up to it. What are you going to be all right? And I get it, but it is part of the responsibility. There was a time where I would have been like, good for Justin Herbert. But as I've gotten older and you realize that there's a responsibility that comes with being a face of a franchise like Los Angeles Chargers in this case, even things that you don't want to do, you got to do. This is one of them. And, to stand for an extra, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, maybe a minute.
I mean, Laura Rutledge had to literally grab him and hey, we need a second.
And she was sweet about it because, they know that they have to get these guys and the guys know that they have to get them. And so when he was like, I just want to celebrate my team, it's like, yeah, I know, but she could have been like, yeah, but you know you got to do this.
She kind of did, but like you said,
But she was very sweet about it. So I just think, yeah, this is on Justin Herbert.
Chris, is this a Justin Herbert thing? Did we lose Chris?
Did you turn him back up?
Yeah,
I don't hear the.
He's up.
I don't hear the screeching in the. There he is.
Oh, there he is. Chris, what happened? Did you get a text message?
No, I was on Ben Pearson's internet here in the arena, and then he packed up his gear. So
okay.
The internet went away,
did you hear everything or no?
Uh-oh.
I heard the question, the Justin Herbert situation.
Did you need to square away your situation first?
Well, I'm wondering if we're leaving or not. It's weird. We're
don't
kind
get
of standing
left.
around, but I will. No, I don't want to get left here in the middle of Kansas. That's for sure.
That would be funny.
But I won't. No, I think, just real quick, Tony was right that this is what he should expect, but I still commend Justin Herbert because hopefully more people will do what Justin Herbert did, and eventually these stupid sideline interviews will go away. That's
the
my
answer
opinion
I
on
was
those.
looking for.
I just don't think
I can't stand them.
I agree. I don't like the interviews, but I don't want it to come at, I don't think, she's just out there trying to do her job at that point.
It's not her fault.
No,
Right.
it's not her fault.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
Now, here's another video that we have, and it's from Puka Nacua. A major rule in most locker rooms in the NFL is you don't live stream while you are in the locker room. After the Rams win Sunday, Puka Nacua went live, even though his teammates asked him to stop. Here's a little bit of the live stream.
Hey, don't do it. I was going to yell at me. Hey, bro, don't live stream.
Hey, don't live stream, bro.
Don't live stream in the locker room.
What? I'm not.
What do you mean you're not? I'm looking at it.
I know, but it's not of everybody.
What?
So this goes on for a little. Wrong one. This goes on for a little bit, and I'm not sure if swear words happen. So he ends up just keep live streaming. He didn't do anything about it. So Chris, you're up first. How should this be handled? Some are saying 1-game suspension.
Wow. Really? Uh-oh.
See, this is exactly. All right. Tony, what do you got on that one?
I hope Sean McVay takes care of it.
Oh, he will.
I think he will. I mean, I don't know. I like
Puka,
but this didn't come off very cool of him.
No, it sounds very mature.
Yeah, it's super mature. I'm not. I'm just not everybody's in it. It sounds like one of my kids trying to explain away something that they're getting in trouble for.
He said, I'm not. And then the guy goes, I'm looking at it.
So, well, it's not on everybody.
Yeah, this is a bad look.
I hope, it's a bad look. You seem like kind of a jerk teammate. But, maybe not. Maybe it's just one off. He was feeling good about himself. I don't know. Sean McVay, I think, got to do something.
I think Chris is back, but we'll figure this out.
Okay.
When we get back, we got more from the winter meetings on 97.3 The Fan.
Good day today, guys. Fortunately, you don't need a passport to get to Manhattan, Kansas. So I made it safely this morning, and a little flight through Dallas, enough time to stop and get a Subway sandwich. By the way, am I the only guy on earth whose go-to sandwich at Subway is a foot-long tuna on wheat?
You might be.
Does anyone else get that?
I think that people, for some reason, love the Subway tuna because I see people get it all the time.
Can I give you guys
Yeah.
a ultimate hack that I don't even eat Subway, but my wife does.
I love Subway.
And
okay,
this is her go-to sandwich. And at first, when we first started dating and she pulled this out, I was like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. But after eating it, it's pretty good. I don't know how healthy it is. It's a veggie foot long, tons of lettuce. I can't remember what she puts on as the toppings, but there's cheese on there. And then she takes a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos and she puts it in the sandwich.
Wow.
It's actually pretty good.
Wow. And so you only eat because Subway's a little expensive these days.
I think this is how it kind of started.
Yeah, try it at
right?
the airport, Skraby. At the airport, it's double, I think.
For
I'm
sure.
sure
Every airport is double. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
but you got to stop.
Yeah,
Sorry.
your wife's sandwich sounded really healthy there. The vegetarian sandwich, lettuce, and then
Cool Ranch
put
Doritos.
the Cool Ranch chips on there. That changed it a little bit.
Definitely did. But it's actually a pretty good sandwich, I must say. I digress. Go ahead.
No, that was it. And then we got here. We came straight from the city of Manhattan, Kansas, is truly in the middle of nowhere, and they do call it the Little Apple. Manhattan, obviously, the Big Apple in New York. So that's kind of what they go by here. There is absolutely,
Chris, I wish you could see
What?
Skraby's face. I think he just
He didn't
kinda
like that?
I think he just all put it together.
I
little bit.
did.
He was
I did.
lost.
Oh, he did, or he just figured it out. Okay, he figured it out. Yeah.
Now I get it. I
Yeah.
was like, I knew they
Yes.
called it the Little Apple, but I never understood why.
His
You didn't get
face
it. Okay,
figuring it
that's
out
fair.
in real time was quite hilarious.
That was pretty dumb.
Scraby, it's okay. It took me 3 years to get that Zach Gallen was the milkman. So
Okay.
That's true.
Thank
It's
you for making me feel better.
understandable.
Also,
But-
Chris, explain to everyone where you are and why there's so much noise behind you.
Well, because when they started the practice in the actual arena where the team plays its game, so I was sitting way up top where nobody could hear anything. They kicked us out of there, and now we're like in a field house practice gym, and there's really nowhere for me to go. I'm sitting kind of down at the end of the court. The players are down at the far end practicing, but it's going to be a little louder. I'm sorry to say.
I got to ask you, Chris, as the news
Yes.
today came down, I don't know if you've heard yet, but Phillip Rivers is returning to the Colts. He's going to be on the practice squad, but I can't imagine that he's coming out of retirement to just be on the practice squad. Is this as wild to you as it is to me?
It's one of the wilder ones, isn't it, Tony?
Oh,
I mean,
my
I'm trying to
Lord.
think of the only thing that. And now, how old is Phillip? He's over 40.
He's
I know
44.
45, maybe. Or
44.
Somebody's closing out
thing
right
that
there.
even. Yeah, the only thing. Yeah, right. The only thing that's even close to this was back in the hockey days. The greatest, one of the greatest players ever before Gretzky came along, Gordie Howe, actually kept playing until he was over 50. And so, I don't know how you play hockey at 50, but Gordie Howe did that. This is crazy, but who do the Colts have to fall back on?
They don't have anybody.
It's
Apparently.
a bit inventive. I mean, their other quarterback, Leonard, got hurt, and
Yeah.
Richardson's not ready to go.
That's why.
Johnny Unitas is probably a little too old. So I think, that's it. Phillip
too
was the
bad. I
only
mean,
option. This is
Teams are there was some conversation out there. Maybe this is why the trade deadline needs to be all season long, because now a team is in need of a quarterback it can't trade, so they have to do
Right.
something like call up Phillip Rivers.
No, this is part of sports. Sometimes the you can't see what's going to happen in the future, and this is one of the wilder ones, right? I mean, Richardson not available, the other backup hurt.
Yeah.
This is a rare thing, but it also brings some intrigue. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Philip Rivers.
I would love to see that. Can you imagine? This is the way he gets his Super Bowl.
I can't. I've been thinking about him slinging the football the way we used to. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it again.
Well, also, I mean, if you're the Colts, can't you do something with Jonathan Taylor and the Wildcat? I mean, you know, this is what you have to come up with right now. I mean, when the Miami Dolphins brought the Wildcat back, 10 years ago, it happened out of nowhere, and it happened because their quarterbacks were both hurt going into a game against the Patriots. And all of a sudden, they snapped the ball to Ronnie Brown, and about a month and a half later, they were in first place because nobody could figure out how to stop it.
And everybody started copycatting them too, right after.
And then everybody tried to do it for a while until everybody figured it out. But yeah, I just think this is a hang with them if you're the Colts. And if anybody can do this, man, Philip Rivers, look, he's now, does this stall his Hall of Fame balloting? Do they have to take him off the ballot? Because he's a semifinalist right now. Can't be playing.
I got to shift to our second favorite topic of the week, and that's concerning the Fighting Irish. We know that they're upset that they were left out of the playoffs. We know that they were so upset that they said, we're not going to play anymore. Then they proceeded to say the ACC didn't have their back. Have you seen the latest piece on this?
No, but I'm excited to hear it.
Yes. So not only did the ACC not have a football team that's not in their conference's back, apparently, according to the Notre Dame AD, they had a campaign.
A smear
campaign on social media, according to the GM that the ACC put together. Now, I don't know. After his last few comments, this seems like, a stretch to say the least, but more crying from the Fighting Irish on this particular subject.
They wonder why people call them the Crying Irish, and people have called them that over the years. So this is a good example. I'll say a couple of things. I hope that the Crying Irish is so upset. We have a nice soft landing spot for their basketball and all their other teams. They want to come to the Pac-12. We got some new openings next year.
Come on in.
Nothing says
come on
Pacific
in. I think that'd be a
12
nice
like
addition.
Notre Dame.
Come on in.
But nothing spells ACC like Cal.
No, I get it. I get it.
Cal or Stanford for that matter.
I get it.
Right. Who cares about that anymore? So yeah, Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame, let's put your bluster where your mouth is. I mean, if you're really upset and it's really bothering you and it's irreparable damage, as the AD said, they ought to get out of that conference, shouldn't they, Tony? I mean, make them pay. If you feel this way, make them pay.
I think this is the first time in a while that the independent thing bit them in the rear end. They have usually benefited from being out of a conference and kind of being able to, I don't know, create their own path into whatever the end result was. This is the first time that I can remember that it's actually hurt them. And it comes at a time where it's a new format and a newer format coming behind it, it sounds like. So you wonder, at some point, does this start to change their mind? And I know right now they're talking tough. We're not going anywhere, but that happens again. You're going to start to see the Notre Dame people start to maybe change their mindset on this.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Notre Dame.
Oh no! He tried.
He did. I mean, this is a good effort.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right here.
Like, remember that kid that said to Cam Newton, "Good game, good effort."
Yeah, that's right. Do you think he's still talking right now, or do you think he's?
Oh, we know he is. I don't know who he was whispering to though.
I got that.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, there he is, Chris.
I got kicked out of practice. I was being too loud, so I'm into another room now.
Hey.
Yes, I was being too loud.
They were being loud.
Well, they're allowed to practice. I'm not supposed to be doing my show and interrupting their practice.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're good now, I think, guys.
Are you just in a hallway somewhere?
Nice I'm in a Kansas State film room. Evidently, it's a little tiny theater here. It's actually quite nice.
Who's the most famous football player from Kansas State?
It's a good question,
Darren
but
Sproles.
yes, we thought of it. Darren Sproles, my guy, one of the greatest, nicest guys. Did you ever meet him, Tony?
That was my workout partner for like 5 years.
I love Darren Sproles. The first thing that I, was introduced to Darren and he asked to interview him, or I wanted to interview him, and he does that. He had a bit of a stuttering problem when he first started. And just like any, guy, anybody who's level up, I mean, he just kept working at it. He never backed away from interviews, and he just said, I'm going to keep doing this stuff until I get better at it. And, that had a lot of everybody's respect in the media. But beyond that, he's just a superior guy. So,
Great dude.
And he may have had trouble talking sometimes, but when he had the football, they had a lot of trouble tackling him too, Tony. He had some moves. Because he wasn't very big.
Yeah, you couldn't see him behind a normal NFL line until he was already at the hole, and by that time, it's too late because he's running by you. But to your point, man, Darren Sproles is one of the best people I've had a chance to be around on a consistent basis, man. I think he's coaching high school football right now up in LA. So
good.
He's definitely in my top 5 people being around.
I've met him too.
He deserves to be there.
Yes.
All right. Let's get
K-State does not have a lot of greatness. One name you would like
Freeman.
and remember, Skraby. Well, okay, but I was thinking basketball. Mitch Richmond, the old Warrior, went here. Michael Beasley. They don't have a long, illustrious list. Yeah, Michael Beasley, Rolando Blackman was another one, but
they also had had one of my favorite basketball coaches. He's quoted. He's not there. I think it was Frank Martin. I think it was his name.
Frank was he was crazy.
I just love listening.
Crazy.
He was a madman, but he told us,
a madman.
I gotta get the break. I can't go. I will tell you a story on the thing why I'm a big Frank Martin fan. Happy hour. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Get Ross Traffic Center.
talking about Notre Dame, and I hadn't seen this work that, let me get his name right, Mr. Brett Yormark put together. He put together some good work here. Speaking at the Sports Business Journal Intercollegiate Athletics Forum on Tuesday, took aim at Bavakwa, which is the AD for Notre Dame, saying he's totally out of bounds in his approach. And if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing. Then he proceeded to lay out how he thought the ACC saved Notre Dame back in 2020. He said ACC saved it in 2020 when the Irish played a 10-game ACC schedule during COVID. They went 9-0 in the league play that year before losing in the league championship game in a rematch to Clemson, but still were selected as the number 4 seed in the 4-team college football playoff, where they lost in the semifinal to Alabama. Yormark said CFP Chairman Hunter Yurachek was transparent about the committee's logic. I like guys who bring receipts. Mr. Yormark brought receipts in terms of why Notre Dame needs to stop the crying.
Yeah, Yormark should know though. He's the he used to be the commissioner of the Big 12, so
He still
cried
is.
a few.
He still
okay.
is.
Well, he's cried a few times too, Tony. I mean, believe me, if anything ever happens to that conference,
listen,
he can whine with the best of them too.
I know all of them can, but this one
Yeah.
is a bit rich considering that they don't even have a conference. They just are out there
Right.
just floating.
Yeah, for
Floating
sure.
away. All right,
Agreed.
real quick, Frank Martin, I brought him up for the break. One of the best Frank Martin stories, and I try to conduct my children the same way. He talked about his son, and I think he was talking about playing basketball. He's like, I don't go talk to my kids' coaches. Like when they go play with their coaches, I know how difficult it is to be a coach. I let the coaches coach. Now, if my son has a problem, he needs to go take it up with the coach. I'm not going to come in here behind and stomping my feet. And I think that's the way it's got to be for young athletes. You got to be able
love
to
that.
learn away from mommy and daddy and them having to kind of fix your problems for you all the time. That being said, go to AJ.
Yeah, like kind of like the what was it? The young ladies who was the teenagers whose Hollywood parents paid extra money to get them illegally into USC.
yeah.
Remember that?
Oh,
Yes.
it was who was
Gosh,
the?
she was in the house.
Yeah, Lori Loughlin.
Oh, there he
Yeah,
is.
there it is.
Aunt Becky
Yeah,
from
you know-
Full House.
There was another one.
Yeah,
though.
that's Felicity.
Felicity
Huffman.
Huffman.
Yes, there
yeah.
you go.
I think she did some jail time for it.
I think she
Felicity
did too. I think she
Yeah.
did too.
So
yeah,
you know what? Don't let your parents bail you out all the time. That might get them in trouble.
A lot of times it does. It leads to
Yeah.
things you don't want. All right, now, Skraby, as I've been teasing all day, Sam cornered AJ.
It's actually
today.
quite awkward in his hotel room. I don't know whose hotel room this is, but I would not let Sam Levitt in to interview me in my hotel room.
What do you got?
Well, the big news of the day, which actually, because Chris has been traveling all day, we just broke the news to Chris in the last break that Edwin Diaz is now a
And he had
Los
the same
Angeles
response
Dodger.
that most of you guys had when you heard it.
I can't repeat it on the air because it's
It's a swear word.
It's
Yeah.
FCC bad list. But
Yeah.
Sammy went up to AJ's hotel room apparently and got a one-on-one with him, and he asked AJ about the move that the Dodgers made for Edwin Diaz. Here's actually, you know what? I'm going to play Sam's whispering question.
You did have a division rival. The Dodgers reportedly signed Edwin Diaz today, give a lot of money to another reliever. Just from your perspective, obviously you guys have come really close the last couple of years to beating them in the postseason, winning the division last year. How do you view kind of the moves they've made so far?
Yeah, no, I think it's expected, in terms of, I think overall the NL West, it feels like there's always talent coming into the NL West, with the teams that are there. There's, it speaks to the competitiveness around the National League. And the Dodgers specifically, they've the last 2 years they've represented the National League and won the World Series. So, teams that are hungry to win and are willing to put a lot of resources towards that. We understand that, and I think again, like our focus continues to be on what we need to do to get better. And like you mentioned, the last 2 years we've been close, but it hasn't been good enough. It's I think as a group we talk about how do we take another step, knowing that other teams are going to add. That's what it looks like, and I think for us, we're going to continue to look to get better, and then continue to look to find ways to take another step or two, which we need to get to and get to a World Series, bring a World Series here to San Diego.
I wish
to be fair, they both were kind of whispering.
Yeah, they're in a hotel room. You don't need to whisper.
Maybe they were at Aztec women's basketball practice. Like I should have been whispering.
They could have been. One time I want AJ just to be like, man, that bleeping sucks.
You'll never hear that.
I know I won't, but I want to hear it.
You won't hear that from anybody in that building or any building for that matter.
You shouldn't think that way if you were in that building. You should not. So you're not going to hear him say that, Skraby. All right, fine. But yeah.
Get anything else from Sammy?
Well, I just want to should I get Chris's thoughts on Edwin Diaz? Because I think
let's hear from Chris on this.
Can we do it without you getting us kicked off the radio, Chris?
Well, I'm just going to hope that Edwin Diaz has a blow-up year. I mean, he's had
he's certainly capable of it.
Right. He's had one or two of those. And, I know last year when they got Tanner Scott, we all thought that was the end all.
He was the flavor of the year.
Right. That didn't work out. So, look, there's always a risk involved to sign somebody, as high profile as this. But obviously on paper, it gives them another weapon. And AJ's right. I mean, you just have to look at what they have and do your best to try to beat it. That's it. There's no crying in sports unless you're Notre Dame. So you just have to. Sorry, Irish fans. That was an easy one.
Low hanging fruit right there.
Yeah, you just have to. You have to do your best. I mean, unless they're going to change the division alignment. And the other thing is too, you don't hear anybody in the Padre organization complaining. Or talking about the Rockies. So, whereas most teams in baseball do have 4 other teams they're competing with, the Padres only have 3.
That's true.
It just so happens that one of the 3 is the Dodgers. So, this is what you have to deal with. And the good news is you can still get into the playoffs if you don't beat them. And that to me is the one thing. If you had to win the division to make the playoffs, then I could totally see the Padres feeling some type of way, because obviously it'd be very difficult to ever get in there.
Yeah, no doubt. Before we go, I just have I peeped this while AJ was talking. Now you guys see the Joe Musgrove bobblehead. See how far we've come. I'm about to pull out one that had to been.
But Joe Musgrove has his tattoos on his arm. He's got his dog, the coffee cup, the hat.
It looks like Joe Musgrove.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know who this guy is.
He's holding up a Trevor Hoffman bobblehead from
if
way
I
back
get
when.
this close, look at his nose they have on it. Can y'all see that? Can you see it on there?
Yeah, it's such a big nose.
That's crazy.
It's a beak.
And I also have a little bit of problem with when Trevor pitched and he had that leg, he would kind of lean back. He kind of like lean forward on this. But the nose thing it just caught my attention, and it's just like, yo, we've come a long way
Someone
with
on the
these
chat
bobbleheads.
Thank goodness.
Holy no!
I know one person. Tony, I know one person close to home who had a bobblehead that didn't go too well. And that was your pops.
Oh, he had quite a few that didn't go well.
He had quite a few of them. They kept trying to do them and kept trying to figure it out. Now I would take your dad's bobblehead because, like you said, they've figured out how to do it right. But some of those ones he had back in the day were not, they were not what we wanted. So.
He looks like the Trevor Hoffman one looks like a caricature of someone who played in the 20s, like with the long jaw and the. Have you seen? Crazy. There's a couple of them back there. I don't know if it's there anymore, but that one Joe Musgrove where he has his mouth open is another interesting one.
I don't think that one's over here anymore, but.
Look at the Coach Dutcher one. Even Coach Dutcher has his face looking like his face.
That's what I'm saying. We've come such a long way. I mean, from this guy right here, who I don't know who it might be, long lost relative of Trevor. I don't know.
I don't think. I think
it's not Trevor though.
I think they just picked a picture of a person and put it up.
They didn't pick a picture. Somebody just closed their eyes and like imagined what Trevor looked like. Anyway,
it's pretty bad, actually.
Speaking of the Joe Musgrove, if anybody out there longs for purchasing or owning one of those Joe Musgrove bucket hats, which were famous for a few months there. Remember that a few years ago?
Yes.
My wife has one sitting in her office that she will not allow me to throw away or move or touch or do anything. But she's never worn it. So just saying. Still one exists out there.
All right, let's get to break.
I don't want to be in charge of getting that to someone. So, Chris, you take care of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Skraby pushed it off for a couple of days. Here we are. GBU will finally get its shine on Gwynn and Chris.
Hey, it's better.
I just hit the mic. I do this on the Skraby Show all the time. I hit the mic and
Turn yourself off?
No, I do the whole like Skraby Show 97. I'm not even talking because I didn't turn on the microphone, and I just did it right now.
You've done that all week, by the way, and last week.
Yeah, I know. I can't get to the end of the year fast enough. We're going to announce the biggest fan in just a second. We're going to get the GBU in just a second. But first, this hour is brought to you by Mission Fed. From first accounts to big life moments, Mission Fed can help. Saving shouldn't be stressful. Mission Fed makes it easier with great rates on savings, certificates, and ultra money market accounts. Grow your money the smart way. Check the latest rates and open an account at missionfed.com. Membership and account criteria apply. Up to you now, Tony.
I can go?
Yes.
Quick SDFC update.
Oh, wait. No, biggest fan first.
Oh, I thought you said you were reading the biggest fan.
Oh, I'll read the biggest fan. If I thought we were in tandem here. No, I'm going. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Steven Garcia of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973. You'll qualify for our grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefanst.com/biggest fan. Steven Garcia of San Diego. If you signed up, call us now, 833-288-0973. Your 10 minutes starts
If
now.
you signed up, his name is in there. So
Well, I figured there's a lot of Steven Garcias out there. No, I figured there's a lot of Steven Garcias out there. So if a Steven Garcia, because we've had a call before and the phone number didn't match, and they're like, "Oh, I just heard my name and I called."
Oh, okay. I guess there is a reason for that.
I just want you guys to know
Fair
that
enough.
when I came on to the show today, Tony, the first thing I was met with by Skraby was how smoothly the show was running without me. I just want you to
And
know
ever
that really
since
hasn't
then-
carried on since I've been here.
Well,
it hasn't been smooth the moment you got
No.
on.
Who's
Right.
the main
And
person?
but
in
he's
that
not
whole thing?
talking though. It's you doing all the talking. Real quick before we get
Wait,
to
one more. No, I'm just kidding.
before we get to the GBU, we all remember the disappointing end to SDFC's season. For those who follow soccer, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Mohamed Salah of Liverpool had like an epic blow up after the game. He didn't play.
Yeah,
he's quite upset. And of course, what does the media do? They stick the mic in front of his face, and he was candid for however long it was. I'm not sure he is excited about his candor now, but rumor is that he may be headed to either Saudi Arabia or MLS.
Yeah.
If he heads to MLS, reportedly SDFC is at the very top of the list to bring him in. This is the type we're talking. I mean,
This is a
Messi,
game changer.
Messi's the top of the top, but this dude is special and can still play. And I think, man, it would be a lively ticket if SDFC is able to pull that off. Thought I'd share that before we got to GBU. Your turn, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Good share, Tony. Good share. How about traffic, Scrabe?
Look at
and
this
then the
guy.
good, the bad, and
Help
the
you
ugly.
get on track, Skraby. How about that? Chris helping you get on track.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. A couple of problems as you make your way past the merge this evening. North 5 at Carmel Mountain Road, crash blocking the left lane. Up ahead at Carmel Valley Road, a crash over to the right shoulder. Once you're past that, you should be in pretty good shape. We've also got a crash on La Jolla Parkway on-ramp to southbound 5. Whether you're dashing through San Diego or heading out of town, make sure your car's in the game. Friendly techs at Valvoline Instant Oil Change will check your lights, wipers, tire pressure, battery, and more with every oil change. Grab holiday savings now at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right. Before we get to the GBU, we have been telling you about these tickets all day, but right now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to the San Diego State basketball game against Lamar at Viejas Arena tomorrow night. Grab tickets at GoAztecs.com. First person to know the Lamar is a university mascot or nickname.
Yes.
Give us a call, 833-288-0973. And if you're the first caller to get it right, then you will win that prize. All right. With that said,
I need a beat. There we go. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly for Week 14 of the National Football League. I just want everybody to know ahead of time. Skraby's laziness did carry over to today a little bit, Tony. There are still no highlights for this week's good, bad, and ugly.
Wait, time out. There's no highlights?
That's what I was told.
So he kicked the can down the road and still didn't get highlights.
Okay,
this
if we're
is
going to talk
amazing.
about this, I
is
didn't
amazing.
realize that this was going to be a thing, but if we're going to talk about this, Chris doesn't, and I'm not trying to make fun of Chris, he doesn't have a way to see the highlights, Tony. So he doesn't know what I gave him because he's on his phone right now. And so if he closes the app, it closes the thing. I figured it would be much more simple for us to just go without highlights today. Producer's discretion.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of producers' decisions here in the last couple of
Discretion.
weeks. I must say.
Producer's decision.
You know, when I asked
All
Chris
right.
off the air if that was cool, he goes, yeah, that sounds good. And now it gets brought up.
Well, it sounded good. I'm just bringing it up. All right, here we go. The good. Let's start with this one. Game of the week, Green Bay 28, Bears 21. Tony, your thoughts on this game? The Packers win, but I think the Bears come out of it feeling pretty good. They were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. They come back on the road. They tie. I think the Bears have proven to themselves, if nothing else, that they can beat anyone in this league, and they play the Packers again at home in a couple of weeks. So victory for Green Bay, but not a terrible loss for Chicago, I didn't think.
No, I didn't think so either, especially the way they were able to come back. They moved the ball down the field when they had to in the second, and they were in striking distance to do it again. The throw came out of Williams' hands a little late, and that ended up leading to an interception. But you're right. I think they walk away feeling like we had those guys. And without that last play, I think Green Bay would have been trying to figure things out today.
The other funny thing about this was Matt LaFleur had to come out and say that he didn't take any special joy in beating Ben Johnson. But Ben Johnson, when he was with the Lions, made a big deal about the fact that he used to mop up on the Packers. So there was a little behind the scenes going on in that one as well.
You know what's funny? I feel like Ben Johnson is the type that is going to play into that deal, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
Why not?
But as much as I sometimes dislike my man from Green Bay, he's pretty even keeled most of the time. He doesn't seem to be moved by a lot of this stuff.
Packers 28, Bears 21. Number 2 in the good was the snow game. Buffalo 39, Cincinnati 34. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, always a lot of fun. But we said it yesterday, Tony. When it's snowing, every player on the field slows down except for Josh Allen, who starts to run faster. 3 more touchdowns, a long rushing touchdown. Josh Allen's incredible in that kind of weather.
I'm not sure if he's got better spikes than everybody, but it seems like when everybody is like running in place because their feet are slipping out, he is just, gripping the ground and, as you said, running away from people. Plus, I don't think anybody really wants to tackle. I don't think anybody wants to tackle him anyway. He's
Probably nobody wants to tackle anybody in that
Josh
weather.
Allen is not that much smaller than Cam Newton, and I used to see the same thing. No one really wants to make the business decision to get in the way and tackle him in that weather in particular.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's pretty good in that weather. Also, he threw 4 touchdowns, but the Bengals came up short. Final good was the Rams basically naming the score, 45-17 over Arizona. They got the top seed in the NFC right now. Matthew Stafford back on track, 3 touchdowns. But I want to send out a special thank you to the Cardinals for throwing the ball to Michael Wilson on basically every play to help my fantasy team get into the playoffs. I think he had 20 targets in the game, Tony. It's as if the Cardinals don't even have another play in the book, but I appreciated that. Rams win 45-17.
I just put this together. Maybe
it was unbelievable.
Target.
He is a new father. You know who his wife is?
Michael Wilson?
Yes.
No.
There is Sophia Wilson, the star soccer player for the USA team.
Oh, yes.
New father, and all of a sudden he's balling out of his
new
mind.
dad energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
man.
what I remember with Gavin Sheets. He got
Same
new dad
thing.
energy.
New dad energy. But yeah, shout out to Michael Wilson, man. He balled out.
Before Chris moves on, I got to say congratulations to William for winning the tickets to the Aztec game. Lamar's nickname is Cardinals.
The Lamar Cardinals.
Correct.
So there you go.
That's
Congratulations, William.
They'll be the one in the Cardinal red uniforms tomorrow night. It kind of goes along with their name. In the bad category, you got to start with the Buccaneers losing at home to the Saints. Early in the season, right? First month, Baker Mayfield was going to be MVP.
Could do no wrong.
Buccaneers were going to the Super Bowl. That has changed dramatically, has it not, Tony? And I don't know, is it just because Michael Evans has been not there, or has Baker lost his mojo? Because they're not doing a whole lot on offense right
I think
now.
you can kind of chalk it up to one leading to the other, right? I mean, your best target goes down, and simultaneously your production kind of goes down as well. I would say Evans does a lot of things for that team other than just catch the football. He makes everybody else's job easier.
I also think that Baker is dealing with some injuries.
No doubt.
He seems like he's been getting beat up.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Baker's not the biggest dude, you know, so taking hits, all that starts to kind of wear on you after a while.
Have you seen that commercial? The Bradley Cooper one where he's like, and now Baker Mayfield is a bread influencer.
Yeah, I did see that.
Anyway, Chris.
Is it unfair, or is it ludicrous to say that Tyler Shuck has been the most productive rookie quarterback this year for the Saints? Didn't look bad in that game. Ran for 2 touchdowns. So
I think that might be a little rich. He's his third start?
Yeah. Well, who's beating him out?
Rookies?
What rookie's done better?
Shador?
I'm missing somebody.
No.
Shador? No. Anyway, Pittsburgh 27, Baltimore 22. I would say that the Ravens have been a disappointment lately, but they've just been a disappointment all year. And this we should have seen coming. Lamar Jackson only, whatever it is, Mike Tomlin, and I know the Steeler fans out there, including our boss, don't like Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin does have the kryptonite for Lamar Jackson, Tony. It's the only team he ever routinely plays poorly against.
Yeah, and you know the interesting thing, Mike Tomlin has taken the Bill Belichick approach specifically with Lamar Jackson. He only talks good about it. Matter of fact, when his team says something otherwise, he's quick to jump on it. Maybe this is why. I found it funny. I can't remember who. Oh, you know who it was? It was Shannon Sharp. He highlighted, I think it's the left tackle. So the left tackle for the Ravens. They were showing these clips, and I don't know if it was just a bad day, but it was at least 8 clips of him not even getting an arm on the defensive lineman, like just completely free run. Now, in about 7 of 8 of these, Lamar was able to just make one move and create some time to get some space. But they brought it up. This gentleman, I can't remember the left tackle's name, has been there the whole year, and that part of, for a right-handed quarterback, you kind of need your left tackle to be on his P's and Q's. And so
Ronnie Stanley?
No, it's not Stanley. So maybe that's not the left tackle then. It was 77. Whoever 77 is, it was just running right by my man. He might as well.
He wasn't blocking anyone,
huh? Blocking anyone.
The other tackle is Roger Rosengarten.
He might be hurt too. I think all those guys are hurt. That's
Joseph Noteboom.
No, I'm gonna find it for you. Go ahead, Chris. Finish your thing.
Whoever it was doing a good impression of a pylon, is what Tony is saying. Yeah. 27-22 Steelers go back into first place in that division. The other bad was the Commanders. My goodness, 31-0 at the hands of the Vikings. That appearance in the NFC Championship last year is looking more and more like a fugazi every day. I know Jaden Daniels has been hurt, so that's a good excuse. But the whole Commanders team has fallen completely apart this year after surprising the league last year. Into the ugly category, Tony, and Patrick Mahomes doesn't spend a lot of time here, but 3 interceptions later and the Chiefs 6-7, that was pretty ugly, and Travis Kelce wasn't a whole lot better. 1 catch for 8 yards, dropped the ball into an interception. The Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs anymore. Let's just say that.
That is true, and I am enjoying every second of it because I fully expect for them to make a resurgence next year.
You do, huh? Really?
Yeah.
That's
they're gonna.
At this point, I don't know how, and I'm not saying that Patrick has played his very best, but I've seen a lot of games where that specific thing was happening a lot. Drop passes. There's a lot of them on Kansas City for a team that has been that good for this long. And this goes back to last year. They were doing the same thing I remember us having the same conversation about all the drop passes. But yeah, no, I think who said it? Was it head coach Green? We are who we are.
Denny Green. We are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were.
That's the
and
record.
Let them off the hook.
The record says that, and so that's kind of how they played all season.
Yeah, Andy Reid also coached a terrible game. He's going for the ball going for first downs on his own 30-yard line in the fourth quarter. He put his team in a bad spot, and he admitted it afterwards. Seattle over Atlanta, 37-9. Sorry about it, Adam Klug, but how much money does Kirk Cousins make to be a quarterback again in the NFL?
A lot.
I mean, the Seahawks just made him look, so bad in this game. Atlanta could do absolutely nothing. Seahawks roll. Jackson Smith and Jigba runs around, pretty much does whatever he wants. 2 more touchdowns. Seattle wins big. And then the final ugly, your guys, Tony Gwynn Jr., the Raiders. They lose to Denver 24-14 or 24-17. And here's the thing that happened at the end of this game. People are talking about this, especially in the wake of all the gambling stuff. There was a penalty called on Denver in the secondary with 1 second remaining in the game. The Raiders were down by 10, stopped the clock. Pete Carroll runs the field goal team out, kicks the field goal to lose by 7, but beat the 7.5-point spread. I don't know that this is the look the NFL wanted in the wake of what happened in the NBA, but
what are you
there's a
supposed
lot
to tell
of
them?
people talking about this.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. Well, you're not supposed to go for a field goal there, are you? You're down by 10 with 1 second to go?
Well, I mean, I'm saying,
What if they Hail Married and there was a touchdown? It's the same thing.
Well, okay, but yeah, all right.
No, I get what you're saying.
The
Chris.
gamblers aren't. Yeah, all right. Yeah, the Vegas people are feeling some type of way about this, especially if you bet Denver in this game.
And I completely understand why, because it was questionable. I mean, it doesn't happen that often like that. But
real quick, Faylili.
But what was the field goal for? The Raiders are not in any point differential playoff contention.
I think it was a motivation booster,
I see.
We only lost by 7.
I just can't get with the conspiracy theory that somehow they were like in on these gambling.
Oh, I can't.
I know.
You know what? If anybody's gambling on football, as much as I like him, I think it might be Pete Carroll. I don't know. Pete's a little shady sometimes.
Real quick, I found the offensive lineman. I can't say his last name. It's
Falele. Yes. Apparently Shannon Sharp said he couldn't block the sun in his eyes.
If you watch the clips, you would agree too.
That's really funny.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, thank you for hopping
on. Guys.
We'll talk to you Thursday.
Yes,
talk
sir.
to you Thursday.
Yes, okay. Have a good one tomorrow. I'll see everybody in a couple days.
Word. Skraby Chronicles coming up next.
That's right, baby.
You got a lot to talk about,
yes,
buddy.
We do.
You guys have a good night.